Okay, let's try it on this side. I'm not on my phone. I'm on my computer. Let's see if Rich comes on this way. Hello, is that you, Richard? If you're Richard, check your email. Oh, yeah, Tipple's there too. Darn it. Yes, I am. I sent you an email, Rich. Can you hear me? Hey, Mikey, how you doing? Good. There you are, Rich. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Hector, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
What happened to your first stream?
I tried to invite you, and when I did, actually it made me have a second stream, but with me and a second person on the same stream. So I must have did something wrong in order to try to add you. It gave me another person, which is me. I invited myself, so I saw two of me. That's when you saw two of me.
But it sounds like it added. Does that phone have two cameras?
Yes, it does.
It sounds like it added both cameras because I saw you have two screens at the same time.
Did it show exactly the same thing or a difference in time?
I think one was dark. I don't remember now. I just remember seeing your name up into boxes,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of odd with the phone. I would have thought it would have not
Eliminate
done it.
one of- Yeah. Well, it's well, I saw someone else use it, and he doesn't have 1,000 subscribers, and I wanted to go live, see if I could just experiment with it and just see if it went live with just my 800. And so it was just my first time trying it, so I was
Cool.
just I was just trying, and I cut it. That's why I said short video.
Yeah, Mikey's saying you invited yourself.
Yeah, basically I did. Yeah. So how you been, sir?
Pretty good. And you?
Good. Can't complain, but if I do, what's the use?
Yeah, it's not like we're going to pay a whole bunch of attention.
No, no. It's just I'm going through these foreign coins, and I've got 2 coins that were in the Vichy era.
Oh, cool.
And the Vichy government was part of the Nazi Germany when they were conquered by or occupied by, say, Germany. And they're really cheap. They're like aluminum only.
Yeah,
And
I
they're
have some.
oh, do you? Oh, okay. Then you know what I'm talking about. No, I shouldn't tell you. But
They're cool,
I,
though. I like them.
I like them too because they're almost like Greek kind of thing, but there was more artistic to it and a little bit more time in designing the 2 franc, the franc, and the 50 centimes. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, what kind of condition?
Um, I would say, I mean, there's hardly any wear on a couple of these. Some of these are almost like this one here. Well, I'd show you, but I would say they're not AU. I know that. They're
So,
more like fine,
fine.
very fine. Yeah, very fine to extra fine. Yeah,
Cool.
for the year. I mean, I've got a 1933 2 franc here. That's really nice. And then I have a 41, a 33, and next one is a 41. Now the 41 France or French one, you can tell the difference between the 1 franc Vichy and the 2 franc Vichy and the 2 franc France. They call it the Third Republic. And the Third Republic, I'm assuming it was from 1870 to 1941. I guess they're trying to differentiate when they were occupied by the Germans.
That's interesting.
And the weight and the artistic motif is way different. There's a lot more pride in. Well, I should say, yeah, would be more pride in the ones that are from the 41 pre-Nazi occupied France.
So, just to warn you, my computer's been trying to knock me off and do the big update for Windows. So,
Oh, really?
every hour I keep saying no, but I might miss it. If I click off, I'll be back.
Okay. Now, do you want to upgrade it or leave it as it is?
I'd like to leave it as it is for a while just to make sure that the update's a good one. Because I have a workstation,
Right.
it causes issues with my some drivers don't upgrade correctly or transfer correctly, so sometimes it screws up my computer, and so I prefer to wait as long as I can. So enough people have made complaints for issues and they fix them all. That's the only problem about having a workstation is, a lot of the drivers aren't as popular. So
Right. Do they sometimes not? Well, I should say, do they conflict?
no, it just normally doesn't start certain things, and part of the computer's ability to recognize things, it messes you up pretty bad.
I was looking at Mikey's comment. Hey, Mikey. Matter of fact, there's some coins here that don't exist. The countries don't exist anymore. That's what I didn't realize. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. At the same time, there's some I can't even read because they're either in Cambodian, Thai, Russian. What else? The Siam. But it's occupied my time because I don't have the coins to go to the bank and get them because they're still rationing and they're still not allowing people to get. I do have a box or two. No, I have probably a box of pennies and a box of nickels that I need to take to the bank. But I don't want to take them in there unless they'll let me exchange them.
Yeah, and you need to really push that point on the phone. Be sure to talk to the manager and nobody else.
Yeah.
So, because they should, if there's a problem and they're rationing or making sure, that they're being extra careful, exchanging shouldn't be an issue. That should be just switching coins out.
Right. But that's why I didn't want to walk in there cold and try to get, my coins.
Yep, I agree. Because they may have to ask somebody just to clarify. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Super's here.
Hey, Super Silverman.
This is about the second time I ever stream in the morning. I should do this more often. But I was working before, so I didn't have a chance to do that.
Hey, did you get my email?
Yes, sir, I did. The one on the $4,000 rifle? Heck yeah. Yeah, I haven't answered to it, but I'm going to do it tonight because right now I'm supposed to be working. I worked yesterday and I worked Monday.
Yeah,
so
beware. There's only a few more days left, I think.
Right. That's why I'm doing it tonight. And
if you send a link to some of your other friends who are interested, you'll get 900 entries, which is huge because most of it is like 20 to 30 entries for joining their site and Facebook and that kind of thing.
Well, I can send one to my daughter.
Yeah, I'm sure you can come up with a few friends that would be interested in a free rifle, especially around that area.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would prefer a handgun, or a shotgun, really. But shoot, that's a nice gun. That's a nice rifle.
Well, for that price, you could take it to any gun shop and trade it in for a few. You could probably get a handgun and a nice shotgun.
What do you think about the Mauser shotgun?
Oh, I like them.
Do you?
I like Mauser. Yeah, always have.
Do you like the hand grip one or just the regular hand grip stock?
I like the hand grip one because it makes it easier to carry around for like doing if you're on the farm and stuff and you're not slinging it. But for shooting, it's really no different. I mean, either way works, but carrying it around, trying to do certain things like if you're managing property and stuff, it's kind of a nice option to hold the pistol grip. So, of course, better to sling it when you can, but sometimes you're doing stuff, road and stuff. Sometimes it's easier to get from one point to the other just by carrying it instead of throwing it back over your back.
Right. Well, I mean, my ranch it wouldn't be that big to carry something like that because it's really a small ranch. But I thought of just using it for like. Oh, a friend of mine likes to go boar hunting. And he's invited me several times, and I've never gone. And I haven't seen him in a while. But he has a feral pig problem up on his ranch. He's got 200 acres up here, up in the mountains. And they dug up one tree where they were eating something out of it. I guess the roots, and it fell on the fence, but it also crossed the road. So he had to repair that and then cut the tree down and cut it up in pieces so they can get it back filled out.
Well, I know some of the guys are used in these 50 caliber air rifles to hunt the pigs because the sound is so low on them that
they don't
scatter or don't scatter as much.
And I'm assuming they're semi-automatic, so you can pick them up. And
I know that the one I have is, but well, actually, no. You do have to crank it in between.
Oh, do you?
But
is it pretty quiet on the slide?
Or an air tank, so that's a little different.
They have a CO2 tank like a paintball gun, but they're not very heavy, and those things are amazing.
Yeah.
That's what my dog's breed is bred for boar hunting.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Dogo Argentino. They're Argentinian bull mastiffs that are specifically bred for boar hunting.
I've seen those dogs.
They're all white, so that way when they get cut by the tusks, they'll see it immediately, and they get like fat collars that are like this wide and pure, like vest leather thick.
Yeah, there's a channel, Deer Meat for Dinner, all one word. He does boar hunting. Just went on one where they had oh no, wait, that's oh darn it, Lunkers TV, and he's a vet. He's a sniper, ex-military, and him and the whole group just went, and they have those dogs, and they're just hunting. And there's a couple guys with rifles, but the main guys going in behind the dogs just have very large knives.
Yep, because that's how they roll. They like to do it personal because that's how they do it. Like that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yep.
Like if you're gonna hunt a bear, do it with a bow. Let's see the real hunters then.
Oh God.
Make it fair.
Yeah. Problem is bears run on so much adrenaline. Though the pigs do too, but the bear will wipe a tree out to get to you. At least you can hide from a boar.
I'm almost more afraid of boars.
No, I've dealt with boars before, and yeah, they're nasty and stuff, and you got to watch your back.
Nasty.
Because they're never alone.
And they're nasty. Like they bears, are. They're evil. I don't think bears are as evil as boars. Boars are straight up evil.
Well, in Texas, they have these pens. They're like 20, maybe 30 feet around. They have a central feeding stock, and they drop a little bit, and they come in. They feed a little bit. They go back out, and each time there's more and more of them. One guy got 40, even the small piglets, and they were picking them off inside the. And I can see why, because in Texas they say there's so many.
They'll pay you to kill them. They'll pay you to kill them.
Yeah, there's so many out there that it's almost they're like a plague.
Yeah, that's the same way snakeheads are here. It's a fish that is invasive as fuck. I mean, I can't even put it lightly. They have lungs, and they can live for up to half an hour out of water, and they can use their front flippers as legs. So they transfer themselves from lake to creek to lake to creek, and they annihilate the inhabitant land.
Yeah, the sad thing is they're a cool looking fish. They're vicious looking.
They are cool as hell, but man, do they kill everything? And they pay us to catch them and turn them in. Everyone we turn in, it's like $5.
Yeah, and what do they call those? Because you can see that big eye on their back fin, or that.
It's the snakehead. That's all I know. I think that's what they're actually called it, but that's all we've ever been told as, and that's what they're like the bulletin boards that's in front of the ponds that gives you the fish registry.
Right.
It has a big old attention, catch the snakehead.
I know the fishermen always say to watch for that eye because it looks like an eye on their. I think it's the back fin or that back dorsal has a big eye on it.
Dorsal, yeah, it's the back dorsal because they're just stupid long. They're like a catfish but black and just exponentially longer than you would think a fish could be.
Yeah, and a lot of people do bow hunting for those or bow fishing.
I want to try that. That looks so fun.
That's what I would want to try, bow fishing. That would be something fun.
They say to do it during once they've laid their eggs The fish are little and still sticking around because they come right to the shoreline, and the snakeheads take a big breath of water and stay right next to them. So you just look for all the little babies, and then you just sit there and wait. And sure
Yep.
enough, they'll stick their head up.
Yep. Oh man, I love fish pools. That's so much fun. That is so much fun.
Oh, and they're huge. Some of them are huge. And the guy Deer Meat for Dinner, that's a great channel to watch. He's got world records. One for spearfishing. God, I forget what kind of fish it was, but it was hundreds of pounds. And man, he straddled this fish for the longest time. He was out in the middle of the ocean, and the boat had taken off and came back to him about a half hour, 45 minutes later, and he was still holding on to this fish. Won a world record with it.
The last good one I caught was, oh man, it was 10 years ago. I was fishing for largemouth bass in a pond. And I mean, if I had a good skip, I could skip a rock across to the other end of this pond. And we know that there's bluegill, largemouth, smallmouth, crappie, carp, and a few other randoms. And I ended up hooking a 3.5 foot, 35-pound carp on my 8-pound test. And it took me over an hour to get that thing to land, but I landed that thing.
Nasty fighters.
Oh man, it's when its tail came out of the water and broke for the first time on shore. Oh god, it was like I was catching a shark. It was so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I had to have my friends like help me eat lunch and whatnot because I'm not putting down my pole, and I don't trust you guys with this baby test, like with this giant beast.
Yeah, that guy I was talking about, Deer Meat for Dinner, he's a great one to watch. His wife's all involved and does it too. They hunt all over the world and fish, have a couple little small kids. This is a couple that were broke as hell just years ago, and he made a living by catching fish and turning it into some of the restaurants and stuff, and ended up now he's a world-renowned guide for some of these hunts and fishing, and people come from all over the world to go with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got a world record gator, and he's got a couple of world record fish. He's got some really exotic antelope type animals and stuff that you can only go to certain areas to find them. You won't find them anywhere else. And it's neat. His channel's really fun to watch.
My student,
I'm not a big game hunter. I never really was, and it's not like I have an issue like with the blood or the gut or anything. It's just I don't know. I just never had a really big interest. I go grouse hunting with a bow with my uncle took me when I was a teenager and taught me, so I do enjoy that.
my students when I was teaching at Sequoia, most of those kids, believe it or not, they fish to eat for their breakfast and their lunch and their dinner.
Oh, that's awesome. That's way more self-sufficient than any kid in my general vicinity.
And they love fishing. I mean, they've got lures, they've got a setup like you wouldn't believe. And they go for carping. I mean, our waterways are mostly trash fish. They're carpies, and if you go higher above the dam, then you can get smallmouth bass. And if you go higher, then you get brown trout. Hardly any a lot of brown trout.
Well, there's a place up in, I would say, North Cali, Oregon-ish, that has a sturgeon. I want to catch a dinosaur. That's all I'm saying.
All through my area, you can catch sturgeon. I can catch sturgeon 20 minutes away.
That's fucking. I want to catch a 400-pound dinosaur.
Yeah, I haven't caught him that, but my uncle, he's caught one that was like, gosh, I know it was bigger than 9 feet. I was thinking it was closer to 11, but I'm not positive.
Oh, that's got to be like a 600-pound. Because I understand, like, those are catch and release only. I hope those are catch and release only.
I don't think they used to be, but I think they are now. And he used to smoke them and ran a tire shop in one of the towns here, and people could just come by and help themselves. And oh my gosh, it was so good. He had it down. And he had a boat, a beautiful boat that was made just so he could fish alone and pull those out of the water.
For anybody in chat who's here and has never seen a sturgeon, it's worth a Google. It'll blow your mind. When I say a dinosaur, I mean a dinosaur. Lived with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, we call them diamondbacks, and they got huge ridges on their back that are diamond shaped.
Because they're like just like dinosaur spikes. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to catch one.
They're
so
a
cool.
lot of fight. And my first one I ever caught had a whole group of guys that I used to work with when I did medical regulators for a couple, less than 2 years, and the whole group was out on a party boat right across from me and my dad on a little tiny aluminum boat. They paid pretty good money to go out there and get some sturgeon, and I caught one, and it was my first one. I was probably 15 or so at the time, and I was trying to look over the edge of the boat to see if I could see it, and it damn near knocked me out of the boat. It came straight up out of the water and just about cleared my head. It was about 4 feet, but just, oh my God, those things are so strong.
No, yeah, oh yeah, they're just a slab of muscle.
Yeah.
Oh God, those things are so cool. Yeah, like just my favorite fish is a cuttlefish, coddlefish, however you want to pronounce it.
Cuttlefish, yeah.
It's like the most poisonous thing in the damn sea, and it can change colors. It has more like skin pigment control than the most vibrant octopus. Like it can like strobe different colors and stripe like in a pattern. It fucking like do all kinds of cool stuff.
What are you talking about?
The cuttlefish.
Huh.
There is different. There's yeah. It's like the evil uncle of the squid.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one. Where are they from?
There's different like how do I say subspecies of them, I guess. So they're found all over. Everything from like itty bitty little super colorful ones that are like insanely colorful, poisonous, to giant ones that they look like a squid, but they have a really big body and really small tentacles. So like their tentacles are like finger size, where their body would be like the size of your forearm area. Like it's that kind of ratio. But they're one of the smartest fish ever like studied at all by far. I league them with the owl. So how the owl is to the sky, the cuttlefish is to the sea. Like they are the bee's knees predator. I don't think they don't fear anything. I don't think they actually have a predator. They don't have anything that hunts them.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they are the one thing. They're one of the very few things that they're apex predator for their field. And they have like the chameleon style camouflage where they can literally like make their skin mirror exactly what they're on. And they shoot ink too. They have that ink mechanism, and they have a really cool beak.
Is that the same thing as a blowfish? No, because they're poisonous too, right?
Yes, the puffer fish, yeah. But those ones are only poisonous if you because of a gland they have, which is why it's a delicacy in Asian culture. Because if it's cut correctly, it's delicious. If it's cut incorrectly, you die.
Yeah, that deer meat for dinner guy eats them all the time with his little girls.
Yep. Yeah, if it's prepared correctly, it's absolutely it's phenomenal from what I hear. But if it's prepared incorrectly, it will kill you with no hesitation, no time to do shit. Like you die.
There's a lady in Australia. She calls her channel Boring Australia, and the first few of the videos that I saw her do were mostly her with 3 or 4 dogs, and then I didn't know how she was killing them until I saw blood in her hand. And says, "Well, she didn't shoot it. Nope, she stuck it in the heart, right underneath the armpit."
Yep.
Now, she's not a very big person, too.
So I'm pretty sure this is a proof that oh yeah. So I found this in an old jar, a very small jar of change that I had from my house before I lost it in 2016. Before I knew about coin collecting in any way, shape, or form, I didn't know that merc dimes existed or anything. Like I didn't know about silver, none of it.
Put that up again, Stern. I want to see it.
Okay. I'll put it up for right here, and then I'll put it under the scope. What gave it away that it was the proof because it has no real shine in hand unless you get it right.
Yes.
It's a super noticeable rim. You can't not notice the rim change on this one compared to a normal 72.
Uh-huh.
Like even with no mirrored luster for me to look at, there was no question in my mind that I picked up a proof the second it touched my hand. Because I've seen a proof and I've held a 72 proof. It was not even a question. It was as easy as like telling the difference of the colors red and green. You just know. But I put it under the scope and I was like, damn, this is a kind of a fat 72 when I had it at my other level. And then when I zoomed it in, that actually is a little notch, and I'll clear it up a little bit more.
Cool.
And the 72 proof is one that is actually a rather weak double. So I was like, oh, well, that's possible. I watch this video at least once a week. And then this right here, this little etch, you're getting messed with because of the sunlight. So,
Oh yeah, I see the break there on the 9.
yeah, and then this is actually a break to this little part right here that's darkened. And then the other spots that had me know, was it this R? Or
Oh yeah, I saw it on the Y.
Yeah, like just way bigger than it should be.
You know, I never seen Mikey up on a panel. Hey, Mikey, you want to come up on the panel?
So it was this R in crust. I was like, damn.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just a cool pocket change. I was cleaning out storage. I was pretty happy with that. And yeah, the U's got a pretty good fucking effing bloop. It's right here.
Well, I did the same thing with my old stash that I had rows and rows and rows of pennies that I got back in the 70s when I was in high school. And I went through them and I found some stuff I needed for my book. Not only that, they were all copper. There wasn't any memorials because that was like pre-82, like 75.
It's on this weird anomaly. There's a lot of it's a 1941 S, and there's a lot of them that even PCGS attributes. I think there's 3 that I saw that had an FS number, and that's really good actually.
Welcome, Mike.
Hey.
Hello, Mike.
You know Rich Kelly and Stern, right?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you're up here. Well, I'm going through some of these coins too, and I'm finding some that I didn't know that were all aluminum bronze that far back, and some aluminum that are far back. But Stern, you said you found that penny where?
In
An old storage? That's right, you said old storage.
this kick-ass old jar that I had in my storage unit.
Cool.
That was like this whole baby.
See, I tell you guys, hoarding pays.
That's what all of that. The amount under my desk is, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, you were right there, Rich.
You know the AA you showed us on the 1972?
Uh-huh.
I found one is exactly the same. I showed it to my coin store. He said Shadow Machine AA. So it could be Machine AA. Not the true DDO.
That's about right. I don't know which one. I don't remember this one. That girl's not around. I would have an opinion, but I am not.
Tin can. Sorry there.
Time to come and go.
I'm trying.
Come on back.
I'm getting refreshed now. It's not letting her refresh, so I have to do this for
You're still muffled. In a minute here, I'll try to show you guys some coins that I just got in the mail from shoot, I gotta find his name just a minute.
I don't remember what year this is.
So I'm setting some coins, Morgan Dollar Vibs, all for grade A. I found on BU Morgans. One of the Vibs is Vib 11A on the 1899 Morgan.
Ooh, that's a better year too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. The lady
1899. Oh,
from 1892 all the way to like 1900. If you can get a mint mark on a Morgan, you got a rarity.
yeah. The one I have is New Orleans Bitmark.
Yeah.
And I bought it for $40
Nice.
in BU condition.
You know, I see a lot of people. You ever heard of the website called Offer Up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to this one guy. He was selling 10 Morgans, and it was, I can't remember the price now, but he wanted some extreme, like I came out to like $45 to $60 maybe around.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
An Offer Up out here, there was a dude selling a 1956 Wheatie that was in brown condition from his pocket, no anomaly, 10 grand.
What?
Swear to God, I was like, bro, if you can get even half that money for this, I'll send you 40 of them right now if you can give me that. He was all, no, and like trying to get all super heated. And I was like, no, I'm just saying, if you find somebody to buy this for 10 grand, I'll send you a roll of them if you send me 5 grand. That's all I'm saying. And I did it privately, so I didn't have to like humiliate the guy. But I was like, you know what, you're your turd. And if somebody's that stupid, profit off it. I'll send you a roll of them. Do it again.
You know, I was bidding on. Oh, jeez, and I didn't. I fell asleep through it. It was afternoon Sunday, and they were selling a library of coins book.
Oh, that's a good book.
Yeah, 1909 to 1940. It had 74 coins in there.
Oh wow, that's easy.
The first page didn't have any. Second page had a little. The third page, I would say, had 95% of it, and the last page had all of them. And it was selling for $1.29, the last bid. So I watched it for a couple hours and went to $5.50, and then the last hour, because it was only a 2-hour span that I spotted it. It was only 2 hours left on the auction, and it went and sold for $15.50.
Well, see, now I would have put a $25 to $30 bid on an empty book.
Yeah, easily. And I always end my bid with an odd number. So I bid like 25.72 because sometimes that 72 cents is why I win a damn bid.
Yep.
And I could not believe the guy, and that included shipping.
That's retarded. You should have told me about this. I would have either pepped you up to stay awake by yelling in your ear, or I would have sniped you from you even.
I would have if I had stayed awake and then went to $40, I would have let you snipe me. But when it sold for $15.50, including the shipping, I would have myself in the butt.
Whatever music you hate, you should have blasted that in your ear until you won that. I don't even care.
I know I should have. But I told my wife and I showed it to her, and she says, "Wow." And she knows now because when I paid $87 for almost a full book from Justin Bussman, then she would say, "You should have got it." I said, "Well, stay with me. Let's talk about it." And she goes, "Yeah, I would have taken a nap myself." And I missed an opportunity, but that's okay. I'm learning from that too.
Yeah, that teaches you better than most things will teach you.
Right.
Coin storage. It's the most important thing in the effing world.
Yep.
And
you have no idea.
it can be addicting.
The coin storage is the most important. Protect it from yourself. Once you have something amazing, protect it from yourself. Is my best advice I could ever give
Wow.
anybody.
And then you got to be careful because even then, I mean, I don't know if you remember my horror story, but I
Yeah.
put my very best pennies in the brand new Intercept Shield album.
You fell for marketing because those intercept
And,
deals ruin people.
I lost tens of thousands of dollars because of that.
Yep. Oh, I hope that company got sued a bunch of times.
Yeah, I do too. They're still actually producing albums, so
I know. I saw that, and I even know a couple of big names that still have them, and they stink. That should be the dead giveaway. They reek.
yeah.
Brand new. Those are the stinkiest albums you'll ever smell upon.
For the silver, it does keep them from tarnishing and stuff. So
I actually heard a horror story where I did the same thing you said, but to a Mercury Dime album. BU Mercs from 16 up. She took them out. They had no reverses. Fucking look like blank planchet on the backside.
You're-
yeah,
You gotta be careful.
Your exact story, but with Mercury Dimes. And I was like, I've heard this now twice from two separate people. Those Intercept Shields will ruin your collection.
yeah. Now
Yeah,
that wasn't Intercept Shield, because I've got really good. I've got 26 of those albums. I keep my better coins in them, but the ones that ruined the backs of the coins was the old Whitman albums from the
Okay.
50s.
Oh yeah, so whatever one does the ruins the back shows. Yeah, that's the one I've heard the horror stories very clearly on.
Yeah,
You gotta be careful on Facebook, eBay, and Etsy. Silver.
Do not buy on Etsy ever. It's basically like buying from Wish. Don't just not even an option. Don't even think about it. I would buy from a crackhead in the corner in the dark before I would think about buying from him.
And I heard eBay 2021. They sell a silver, bullion, and gold bullion.
I believe that, and that's not a problem with me. There's a better marketplace for that anyway. If you want bullion straight from the source, go to APMEX. Hit up Perth Mint or Golden State Mint or SD Bullion, JD Bullion, whatever one that is. Or go to your local LCS because and if you can't go to the LCS, I would let go, offer up. Bullion won't be hard to come by. Numismatics, that's really hard to come by still.
Yeah, I've always used APMEX.
I love Golden State Mint for the Silver Shield mini mintage because he only does the minting for a week. He puts a timer up and everything, and when that timer hits 0, you are unable to buy them. And however many were ordered, that's how many he mints, and then he throws away the die. And sometimes it is so low that they spike in price like immediately after because he does designs that are current with the times. Like he was a big one who did the Black Swan. He's the one who did the skeleton Elizabeth with the swastika behind her that I know you've seen in random places. He did one of the Trump ones where he's flipping the bird. He did the Bitcoin round and the Aztec round and a bunch of them. He's done a bunch of really, really good ones. But those you can get them for I'd say about average for a collector round when you buy them from him. And I've seen him go up to $300 in the next year.
Hello, we back.
Did you guys watch International Stacker video about his friend got his silver stolen by a Facebook dealer?
Okay, everything the International Stacker does, watch carefully or take with a grain of salt because he does a lot for production value. Because he is a content creator, and if you followed him for a year or so, you'll see he does some pretty elaborate videos for some content, and they're super entertaining. But it's not the first collection I've seen go missing from International Stacker that didn't end up actually missing, but he did it as like a giant reveal at the end.
Yeah, the one he made was from his friend. When he was doing a deal on Facebook for gold. The deal didn't go so well, so he canceled the deal. They followed him to his house and stole uh, most of his silver bars, but he got them back. So it needs better protection and a safe place to put them.
Yeah, he's
Hmm.
actually one of the few with actually more silver than me.
That's true. International Stackers are ridiculous, man. his one of his friends, I didn't know was his friend, but he introduced me to the Poland Mint. Huge fan. They in my mind for just like uniqueness and quality. I think they're number one right now. They make the Perth Mint look like our mint. That's pretty. I should be showing stuff and not just talking like a turd.
This is from Midnight.
Oh, that's one of those 70Ds. I got 2 of those coming tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I got a couple coming from the. He got those from Scent Hoarder.
So I bought another BU Random Year Merctime from Matmax for $7, and it's a 1938 D Merctime full split bands RPM
Cool.
in BU condition.
Yeah. Matmax does not check for RPM varieties, and neither does most places. It's just how competent was every person who had it before them. Yeah.
Yeah,
They only check for common varieties like 40 varieties everybody know, like 1942 over 41.
Yeah, Denver. Most people don't know.
not completely true because I got 3 of them out of 1 bag from them, but it was years ago, like 5-6 years ago.
And
But
most
yeah,
people don't know how to attribute the Denver. Most people don't know exactly what the D one looks like, and I love that fact.
Yeah, well, this was the one that you can see with your bare eye.
I know you told me, and I was super jelly.
Any magnification. Well, it kills me because I sold them all because I got 3 in 1 bag, so I ordered a couple more bags from them and figured, well, I'll find a better one for me, and never found another. And I went through 5,000 bags. So, and a whole bunch of smaller ones.
That 70D, Richard, is that designated as a small date or large date?
That's a large date. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I didn't even check, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter for those, but that. I'm gonna say I can't tell. I'm gonna look off from that one right now. And normally I can tell, but I don't pay much attention to the.
yeah, I can tell the more obvious ones. I have to really get them side by side when I have some of the other ones.
I'm pretty sure that there's a medium date, and I don't say that. I say that half jokingly, but I think that there was more than one Galvano or more than one master die used to create the dies for their mint or and such, or it was one of the years that the West Point Mint decided to help out and stamp an S on stuff. Because we'll never know when that really happened, but it happens all the effing time from what they say. That the West Point Mint will help out other mints when they're backed up, but they stamp their mint mark on there, so you'll never know.
These have so much color. And these ones, it's the whole roll. Too bad they're not in better condition.
That one from that 70D came from, 2 kinds of toning came out of that one. There was like this crazy, like insanely dark copper and then silver contrast. It was like a reverse proof where Lincoln is like almost like silver metallic and the background is almost like dark copper metallic.
Yeah, and I need to find my I have purple LinkedIn's where he's absolutely purple and the fields are nice, still nice and red. So I'm one with the dates like that too, which is really cool. But I did just get a whole bunch of rolls of those bats, but they're Denvers. I heard the Philly has an error that's known now.
So I ended up with just one. I went to the gas station and I was talking to the dude, and he seemed like a pretty cool dude. And then I got my change, and all the quarters he gave me were new back quarters. So I ran back in. I was all, bro, ignore this sign that's 3 feet in front of you that says there's a change shortage and did not give me a change. Let me get a roll off you, dog. He was like, I got you. And literally on his register is the sign that says, don't give out change, ask for exact change. I was like, don't listen to them, bro. I got you. I didn't get any W's. I'm still I'm batting 0 for W's.
Well, there's a chance that there might be some in there. The guy that had them did find 1 or 2, but just gave up. Then I got this one. Oops. Oh, it's not going to show. It's Washington's.
There we go.
And then this is my favorite out of the group.
Bicentennial OBW roll, that's cool.
Yeah, a really nice one. It's toned a bit on one side, but they look really good.
Did he check those for the DDO?
He's never opened those.
Never been opened yet. This is still the original.
Rich is a roll hoarder.
Mint
Are you
wrap.
Are you gonna open?
Make it show.
So, got some bison. I love the bison. And these look really nice. And
I think StreamYards now needs to make a 2-screen option, even if there's more than 2 people on the channel. So if you only want to see like a couple people showing shit, or you want to make screens a little bit bigger, you can do so. Or what if somebody's having an argument? You want to have the 2 people having the argument, have a one-on-one while you all sit in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Or even do a battle between 2 people doing
Seriously.
a coin.
Yeah, but with having more than 2 on the stream, yeah, for like background commentary. Yeah, exactly. Who do I write? I gotta look at it. I think that's a really good idea, and I think I need to present it to them because I don't know if they thought about it because I hadn't until just now.
Hey, Jeff Dunn, how you doing, sir?
Because I would like to be showing stuff right now with Rich too, but we can't both show stuff with good sized screens, and I understand that.
Well, I think on Sundays they have a kind of like an open mic thing. It's on Sunday afternoons.
so, and I'm done. So I'll probably do a video opening these a roll at a time. Probably my bicentennials first. Because I really like the bicentennial rolls.
I have a package coming tomorrow that he said was going to make me poop a little, but I have to do it either on stream or either make a video and be on stream. But I got to be live while I open it, and people have to see my reaction from right here.
Well, just make sure you're wearing your diapers.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll be doing it in my birthday suit. I live life on the edge.
Oh, the dollar.
A lot of people say that about you. I didn't believe it.
Yeah, I could make it naked. Huh. All right, will you present all of us again, Hector, so I can do some minimum showing at least? Queen?
Yeah, I'm done showing if you want to just present him.
Huh. Yeah, I have to change my view.
That's a nice one.
It's a shenanigans. Safety first. I don't know why I'm wearing gloves. I just need to go wash the stuff from my hands from working on my car.
Yeah, because those are the rubber gloves. They transfer dirt.
Oh yes, that's why these don't go anywhere. This one actually sits in a jar on my table.
Yes,
And
long as-
outside of me doing that just now, she sits in there tight.
As long as you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's because the cotton gloves are the same way. I mean, if you take those and are at all not smart with your white gloves, they transfer dirt way,
Oh,
especially lint. They transfer lint faster than anything in the effing world.
Yeah, that's why I normally won't do more than a single roll with them before I switch them out.
Exactly. And don't ever touch a dirty roll. Don't touch a dirty penny, and then touch a BU penny. Mm-mm. Oh, Rich, what do you call your little thingy?
It's called the brand is GIOTTO. It's one of the main companies for doing all the tripods.
Okay, I need to know what that thingy is called, just because I went to Walmart asking for one, and all I could think of is it's like the thing for the fireplace, but mini. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get it from a photography shop. It's
Okay.
for I'll
Okay.
send you a link to it.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because the chick at Walmart couldn't figure it out. She was like, "It's bringing up air duster." I'll think of air duster without the aerosol and chemicals.
Yeah,
Bag with nozzle.
it's actually called a rocket blaster, I think, is what rocket air.
Okay, because I mean it's like
Negative for negatives.
yeah, it's like a CPR bag but smaller. It's like now that I think of it like that, I think I could have given a better description because it's exactly like a CPR bag.
In the house.
Oh, that's genius! I should have said that. Oh, shenanigans! Hey, look, it's gonna show today. That is what a manila envelope will do to your coin.
Would that be caused of natural coloring or what?
Yes, sir. This came from being sat in a manila envelope. Because yeah, if you hit it at the right angle, there's like no tone, and then you actually have to get the undertone lining to it. It's like real subtle and not kick you in the face bright.
Yeah, and keep in mind that that's different than the coin envelopes.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be a natural tone. They'll get away with it sometimes, but not normally.
So these ones they do because of only if you can hide the toning will they think of it as the envelope toning is what is even the books that I read.
Huh.
Because yeah, if you can hold it in straight on and it looks just dull and dirty, but as soon as you turn it, it starts to release all of the rainbow, and it's a perfect rainbow like you would expect, with none of the splotchiness. So there's not patches of color. It's really fine. It's like somebody misted the color on there. That is what they look at as original. And if they don't, that's the ones that I will send back over and over and over, because I feel that based on everything I've read, from the old ANA books that you have to the new ANA book that just came out this year, the standards on grading coinage, they all say the same thing about it to me. And that's when I started saying the things I do with like pure confidence. And it's because when I say speckled toning, I mean, when I say little dots, I mean, it looks like the toning was misted. It's just so ever so fine. It's not patches of color that's missing others. It's really just fine mist everywhere.
So Doctor Who is saying West Point Eagles are on sale at the Mint right now.
Oh yeah, I just got a notice right now too.
So that's what the notice is. Thank you guys.
Yeah, Silver Eagles on sale alert from the U.S. Mint gives me the website. Only available through online ordering.
Oh wow, so they have an overstock that they need to burn through today.
They need to do what?
They have an overstock that they need to burn through right now, and it's going to work.
Yeah, people. Well, they're also probably charging a lot more.
Let me see what they're charging.
Oh, come here, phone. There you go.
Okay, Silver Eagle, $54 each.
Oh wow,
That's not cheap.
No,
I'm not surprised. In fact, they probably wouldn't have put them up for sale if the price hadn't jacked up so high. But I'm sure they were still sitting on them. Yeah, I got in a really neat conversation with a younger collector that was giving me a hard time for telling him I was putting all my 2020D pennies into tubes. And he's like, why would you waste so much money on tubes for coins like that when I'm sure you have others that should go in first?
It's the last it's the last double date we'll be alive for.
Yeah, plus the reason is the wrappers are such crap for the new coins that they don't last before it starts spotting them up.
And they didn't, if you haven't opened any of them yet, let me happily tell you, they started to fix the water spotting issue from their rinsing, and they are no longer spotted with whiteness all to hell immediately when you open every single roll. I've opened one roll, and all of that roll, there was like 3 coins that had spotting. The rest were clean. I am happy to say that. From Denver.
Yeah, all my enders are clean.
Yep,
Really?
your insides will be too. They have rims, and the dimes have really, really, really prominent bottom bands, like the strongest of any year I've ever seen. Like almost weirdly strong. Like they went a little overboard. And I haven't seen any nickels yet, and I've only pulled 1 quarter. But one thing I did pull.
Yeah, I have over 30 of the quarter rolls, and I've got 1 full box of the pennies, and I've got possibly 2 more boxes coming. So I do see a spot here and there on every other roll or so, but compared to what they were before. So, and that's just such stupidity on the Mint's part, because if they could have minted coins 100 years ago and not have these issues, it's pretty ridiculous that today's standards have dropped that low. But look at the bag marks that the quarters are getting. It's just ridiculous.
This was not this color when I put it in my storage. This is what the dry heat of Colorado storage.
Yeah, it looks cool though.
It's beautiful. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm saying that is an absolutely amazing thing, because it only happened to certain amounts of silver. But the ones that had that silver content, they came out so beautiful.
Well, a lot of the stuff was done coin silver depending on the age. So that's another good reason for that kind of look.
It was everything from that set, because here is every piece from that set.
What's the label say? Should be right in the middle.
Nope, it's up a little bit, just like normal. Center this way, yes, but it's always cockeyed a little bit north-south.
Huh.
Art SCO SPO 83.
Interesting.
And let me see if the other ones match that. I don't think that was the same as the other one. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to seeing. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was weird. I'm surprised that one toned the same. That's what made me think it was a part of the same, because only very few things in the storage toned this color. So I brought them all to keep them together. Turns out one looped itself in.
And that's a better brand, Reed and Barton. Well, I can't say that because I don't know what that other brand is.
Reed and Barton.
No, this one, this one wasn't necessarily a part of it. They were all in a giant, like laundry basket. Hey, look, that's my S for Stern.
Well, I can tell you right now that company still exists. Right now, it's under bankruptcy, but it's been around since 1824.
Yeah, I knew Reed and Barton went back a ways. And I think Separate Reed was a company even before that.
This one says 573, 575. One or two. Oh, there she.
Hey, Doctor Who.
But I don't see a company name on this one.
Usually, it's just a stamp or some kind.
Yeah, I know. And this one has no real legend or insignia or anything. It's just a 573 or 373.
So funny, for 24 hours now, I've been delaying that stupid update for Windows every hour.
It's still hitting you?
Yeah, and it will until it finally gets to. I was able to go a couple days with it just letting me know every 10 or 12 hours, but now it's every hour on the hour.
That is the S for Stern. This will be in the inside of a Superman logo, and that'll be my channel sticker.
That's really cool. Do you know what era this is from?
No, I know very little about anything about my family because, well, I know nothing of my father's side at all, and on my mom's side, we're not very family-esque. I guess we don't talk much. I know nothing.
I think that style is like from the 30s or before. Your
I agree.
teapot, even older.
Yeah, this is just gorgeous.
Yeah, I like that look too. Now let me see the way the handle's on it. Okay.
Oh, and then this is the base to it. We'll just slide you back. Yeah, those are definitely. Oh wait, where did I put it? There it is. This also had the toning.
Yeah, I have some special art glass Bavarian chocolate set, and it's these little tiny cups or glasses, and it's all really ornate glass with gold.
Fallgate.
I recognize that name. Where's it from?
England. I can read it made in England for sure.
Yeah. Interesting.
And it's one of the ones that kept that. And there's a good chunk of it that I forgot I had from my old house.
Now those are special application tongs. They're not just tongs.
No, these are for eggs.
Is that for sure? It doesn't
I'm
look
pretty. What else would these be? Because I know they're not bent. This is legit how they're shaped.
They made them for things like chicken and ribs and all kinds of stuff. Special mechanics just for certain things.
I've actually been getting used to these, or trained, or how I say, groomed to use those since I was a kid. They were. We have the grill version of those for the cabin. So there's one for bread. There's the two flat spatulas that have the little hinge that separates a little bit, and then you fold it together, and it'll hold your sandwich or whatever you have the size of bread. And then we have ones that are the size of hot dogs that are round and pin your hot dogs in there. And then we have like a giant one that'll fit a steak, and it's like a ribbed, it's big old pieces of metal, and then it has a big old hinge, and then it folds the two like giant spatulas together.
Yeah, I'll have to show you guys some of the stuff I've got. I love this stuff. I've been collecting it for a long time. I don't have a whole bunch of big pieces, but I got tons of little pieces. And I've
So,
got
yeah,
like mint julep straws.
I made them.
Victorian times. They're normally silvers to fight bacteria and stuff, but there are some gold ones. And
I
they
made
have
the,
a filter in them, or, you know, a little straining thing to keep the leaves and stuff from going into the straw.
I made the mistake of falling in love with the crazy redhead, and she was in a hard time that I didn't have, cushion money for. So I ended up getting rid of all my silverware a couple of years back, and I'll never ever do that again.
What, have a redheaded girlfriend or give up your stuff?
I was gonna
Date
say,
a
what you're talking about?
Date a redhead. I swear to God. Date a redhead. They're soulless. I swear it.
I hate to say it, but they're my favorites.
They're my favorite too. I'm
Hey.
6 in a row, and they all found me. I never once messaged
Hey.
one out. Oh, and they're so beautiful. So
It
crazy.
sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, it is. But they're crazy. If you ever want to change your life in a weird way, find a redhead. She'll do it for you.
Well, you heard what mine did to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got really good experience.
So I've got a mixed bag of amazing and then bad. But there's always at least a little bit of an amazing if there's a redhead involved.
No, it was amazing for years. It was just
Oh, yeah.
that last year that was so ruthless.
Yep.
The part
Yeah.
that took everything.
Yeah, they'll do that. And
What are you doing, sir?
you see how the color goes below the 8 and the 1, or like the
Bigfoot.
date room.
Hey, Bigfoot.
That is actually something to look for, because that's how natural toning is supposed to do that with the gap. I learned that from Blue Ridge. So most people, I can say I trust my source.
Well, it's
So
pretty interesting on the Morgans. There's some really neat characteristics to look for, and when you find them, it's normally pretty solid.
I think it's common for New Orleans Bitmarks or Morgans to have die breaks, because I found my second 360 die break on the 1900 Morgan Dar.
1887 is really big for that as well.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like every other year has die breaks. It's crazy how many has them.
Yeah, the 87 is known for a double rim to rim, or a double completely circular, like through the date.
Yeah, I've shown one that has it all full 360 on both sides.
Yep, the 87 is one of those years that's known for that as well. Because I have one that's like this close to having it, but I think it's on the reverse. I have a little itty bitty patch where the die still managed to hold on. Most of it is completely gone, or cracked through and through. But there's a tiny piece.
So the 1900 Morgan has 5 pages. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of information for BAMs.
Is the 1885, I'm going to say alligator eye in there. It's the VAM 24. That I'm absolutely positive.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I remember seeing it before.
Because there's more than 1 year for the alligator eye, and I didn't know that until I found it. And the 85 is not one that PCGS will attribute. The 78 they will, but the 85 they do not, and I consider that BS because they look exactly the same. I'll pull it out right now. Here it is.
They have what they call a rusted wing and neck.
Oh no, it's a filly. It's an 85 filly. Because it's this one right here. And I will scope and move phone to show you what I mean. I had this one for a long time. I was getting ready to sell this, and I was like, I guess I'll throw it under the scope once before I do. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Only 2 pages, four pages, but 2 actual on 2. Well, there's for every page there's 2. So
I'm gonna show you alligator eye.
see that other eye. So it's not in the VAM book.
See, and that's a bummer because it is definitely strong enough to be in VAM book.
Well, keep in mind that a lot has been found since then because there's so many more people these days looking for this stuff.
I'm pretty sure I'm one of them. I have a 19020 that I'm pretty sure is a new VAM that I'm trying to get a hold of Bill Fivas as we speak.
Yeah, this is a 4th edition.
Have they made another one since?
Send an email to Blue Ridge Silver Hound for his Q&A stream for that VIB.
This is a
I'm not a fan of Paula and Chris Rhodes.
Tin can.
it's just tin canned again. So my book is 1991. It's one of the best references for BAMs for the silver dollars. Well said, Bigfoot. Oops, am I the only one up right now?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a someone calling my house phone.
Now I'll plug my better camera back in. Have you been on a few streams now, or is this one of your first?
I've been up on a Imperial label stream a couple of times. You heard of Imperial label, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's helping me with a new design for a sticker.
Cool. Yeah, I wish I had more time because I started on Photoshop on the very first Photoshop way back years and years ago, but I have so little time these days to do the things I'm trying to do.
I hear that. I started back to work, just part time, but it takes so much time just to get prepared to do the calls that sometimes I'm so tired by the end of the day because some of those people are rude.
Yeah, what's the deadline on the census?
For us, it's July 31st. For the regular American on the beat, as soon as possible, because we're supposed to have the report ready by trying to remember, August 31st or September 30th.
Now, did that last one get released? What was it, 50? That's the one that they're waiting on?
They haven't released it yet, and I was asking that at work, and they haven't sent anything yet
Yeah, because it was supposed to be released
in April.
no, it was supposed to be released way before now. Because I remember signing up for one of the things, and they were pushing it years ago. But
Really?
yeah, because it seems like it was supposed to be every 50 years, if I'm remembering correctly. But
The last time was 1990 for the 1940 census.
I've been having a lot of fun with all these rolls. I can't wait to do this one. This one's going to be a fun one. Little bit of rips here and there, but you can tell that.
So I'm doing a air and variety list for Big Flip corduroy hunting. He's making a mat, so you should check out his mats when I'm done.
Yes, some people are pretty talented with design work with the software they have these days.
Yeah.
Used to be tough. I mean, really tough to do that stuff. But man, they've come a long ways. Lost shortcuts. Siren Silverstash.
Hi, Siren.
And America's here. Hey, America.
America, how you doing, sir?
And I think America's the trucker.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen a few of your videos.
So my pawn shop has a bunch of BU Morgans, and they don't check for VIMs. And when I sell my Morgan Dar VIMs, I go buy more. It's too addicting.
Yeah, I have a weakness for it all. And photographs and history books and antique toys, and knives, and
And my pawn shop sells the Morgans in BU condition for around $30 to $40.
so now all Morgan should sell for that under BU.
About time, Hector.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm working on my foreign coins too at the same time as we talk.
Oh, and you did put something in the private chat. I was about to give you a hard time for not putting something in there. I was even going to say I would have checked it if you'd have done it, but I guess I wouldn't have.
That's just true. You didn't.
What's that? Such a little red dot, you know?
So I'm happy to say that so far, after a year, these little balls seem to be unplasticized because I have no wrong kind of color change in BU copper Canadian, BU copper American, BU nickel Canadian or American, or silver.
Well, keep in mind, those normally had to be food grade, right?
Exactly. Yes, sir. I was just double checking, so I put them in here for a year.
That was a good thought because there's a lot of companies that cheap out and just play games with it.
Yep. So I wanted to put. I had a bag of BU foreign coins, like a whole bunch of proof foreign coins. You could tell that they were proof strike. So we all know that those accept toning the best if they're not handled. So I tested all of that. The importance of this is I put these in a gumball machine, and I'm gonna try to put them at the LCSs and like eventually I'm hoping for like GameStops and such, and try to promote coin collecting to the youth And eventually, I'm going to even try to get fortune cookie style little pieces of paper with channel stickers and fun facts about the mint of the year that's in that little capsule. Or if I can't keep it up that much, we'll do a broad spectrum, just random facts about the minting process and such. So that way, kids don't end up like me and turn 30 before they realize that money can be made money on.
Well, you need to pick a coin like a full step nickel or something that you can
Oh.
pick up fairly cheap, and you know.
And spice the pot. Yes, sir. Semi-key dates as long as I spiced it. A Merc dime. And because if it's 25 cents a weedy, I gotta spike the pot a few times or else I'll feel bad. 25 cents a weedy is a lot, but
Yeah, but when you have the chance of getting a silver coin in that group.
exactly. And I think I could eventually have it replace the junk box that people put at the LCS on the counter for their kids to play with while they look through stuff.
Hey, Dale.
We all know what that box looks like. The one that we all look through a little bit, and it sucks how many hands have tossed everything around.
Well,
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but it's a form of gambling for kids. And I know as a kid, I was always, whenever I saw those machines, I'd beg for money. It's like, come on, you gotta have some more pennies. Well, I was only a penny in my day.
And if I feel like I'll even put I'll get a whole bunch of just little bullion quarter-ounce coppers, and I'll put a couple hard-boiled eggs in a Tupperware, and I'll turn them brilliant colors, and I'll have a toned batch where it'll just be cool colored coins or something, and it'll have its own little series. Like the amount of things you could have, a world coin one, an American coin one. You could have one that takes 50 or 75 cents and charge and put it full of nickels, or dateless buffaloes. Even now that you're showing one, I would have learned about coins earlier if this was a thing.
I wish I had kept going what I was doing while I was working in grocery stores and retail stores. I would have had tons.
I wish my grandparents didn't move to Mexico when I was like 12, and they would have continued letting me go through their little 800-pound briefcase full of World War II coins and stamps and food rations and shit. But I only got to play with it twice, and then I never got to see coins again. So I never got to learn anymore.
See, and it's sad because some of that stuff actually has some pretty good values. The stamps and stuff, everybody.
Oh yeah, I didn't get. They had it safely. Like the stuff that I could tear, I wasn't able to get to. But I mean, I was able to look at it all. But he didn't sit there with me and show me anything. He let me sit in a room by myself, told me what not to touch and what I could touch, and then walked away. And then that's my memory of coins. It's the only one I got. I played with them for like 4 hours that day though.
Not a bad one.
No, it's amazing because what they used to do for our Christmas presents was all the change they collected throughout the year, they would put in a jar, and at the end of the year we would count it, and that would be what they bought our Christmas presents with. So throughout the year we could count and see about where we were at through the year. So I would throw a towel down and count change every time I went to their house, all super excited about it. I wish I would have known back then that I should have been pulling out silver. People should have told me.
Well, you know, that's the thing you got to, well, I think I'm going back a little far. What year was that?
We're talking almost 30 years ago. So 20, 22, 23 years ago. So mid 90s.
Yeah, a little different times. Because, you know, when I was collecting, you still could get silver rolls and stuff for face value. So.
See, and I wish I would have been collecting and not just counting, because the one or two I probably came across and even thought sounded funny, if I would have known what that sounding funny meant, I would have been better off. And I wouldn't have passed up the 300,000, or we'll say at least a couple 10,000 canceled waffle planchette quarters that I found in between the walls of a trailer. And I let them go because I didn't know what they were, when I could have emptied a trailer of thousands upon thousands of BU canceled waffle steak quarters.
I think the very first time I met you, you had told me that story.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I would have. It was easily a couple digits into the thousands of dollars worth. If they're going for $20 a piece, BU, I'm talking easy 10,000 of them. Easy 10,000. Because we're talking 6 inches deep, 4 inches wide, 53 feet long times 2, plus a 6.5 foot back wall where it's the same. So what? That's over 100-foot length. I mean, overall of just piles of. And I let that go because I thought because they were canceled, they weren't worth anything.
At least the metal would have been worth something.
Bro, the new quarters. What is? We can't even really melt quarters because of.
Anybody know Stacking Kid?
Huh?
Stacking Kid? He's in the basement right now.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I want to say yes.
I don't.
Unfortunately, I only know him by his voice.
Hey,
Kid,
I
can you show your
I
picture?
have to go. Great stream.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Stay safe.
All right, Mikey.
Take care.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Stacking Kid, can you show yourself a little bit in the basement? You have a cam?
Why is that thing there right here?
Well, guys, if it comes out to be someone who's not there, but let's take it.
Be prepared to throw them back down as well.
Somebody get their finger on the trigger. Whoever's a mod.
I got it. Stacking Kid?
Hey,
Speak.
You
Hello?
need to stay
can you
on.
hear me?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I can, and we're good. It's Stacking Kid.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
As I only know him by his voice, so I can't tell you yes or no until I hear the word. Yeah, he normally doesn't have a cam at all, so this is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's
shit.
because I'm not anywhere where I have coins with me, so you know. Anywho, hey, so is anybody? So I was watching Fox Business, right? And
Okay.
silver there, it said it was at 1911, something like that, right? But
Okay.
I checked on Kitco and JM Bullion, and it said silver was at 1870 or something. Anybody else notice this?
That's a 40-cent difference.
I mean, that's pretty significant, right?
That's a 40-cent difference. Yeah, that's significant. That's a significant margin.
I mean, like, I would assume that, like, trusting Kitco would probably be the right way to go, because, you know, Kitco has been, that's their main thing, but
And
I don't know, it's kind of weird.
J&M Bullion's like they update theirs faster than most that I've seen.
Yeah. The only reason why I use Kitco is because they have a bid and an ask price, and I just like using that.
I agree. I like how they have that
I
difference.
just really find that they're. Mhm.
Oh, and that 70S that I was showing you guys is RPM 001.
So I'm done for a while, Hector.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, brilliant red one I was just showing. Looks like.
Oh, that's nice.
Small movements equal drastic change.
Yeah. Operation.
Yeah, and it's now that they designate PL, dare I say PL on a business strike, because now that all the companies decided to jump on that bandwagon. And the reason for this is this comes from a mint set. That is where you find this one. There's a fun fact I'll give everybody for free.
Thank you.
And it also has the first NIFC Kennedy, the only one of 2 NIFCs that are actually worth money. Because if you can sell a 2002 or up NRF, let me know who you sold it to because I had a shit ton off that too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the silver price right now. It's 1878. Went up 49 cents.
Yeah, but like I'm looking at. Hey, let me go check again real quick. So I have to background noise. Let's see. It's about the show.
Oh, where is it? Where
Yep,
is it?
it has silver at 1918.
Yeah, when I bought my big collection, it was at $26. So,
Wow.
and then
Yeah, but silver's going. I'm not buying silver right now.
Gold's almost going to break 18 right now too. It's unprecedented. It was at like 1794 this morning.
So well, at least on Fox Business it said it was at 18 something.
Oh, it might have
Yeah,
broke.
that's it.
This was like 4 a.m. We're talking 6-7 hours ago. So
As of 10/13,
Yeah, because they were talking.
$18, $1,813.30.
damn, it did break 1800. Wow. 'Cause it was on. It had a $10.
I just can't bring myself to buy precious metals right now because I was so used to buying them at like, dirt cheap.
Fuck, $12 face. Now they're doing 18, 17 is the average.
Luckily, I can still find junk for spot. I can still find, yeah. Well, maybe like 5 cents over spot. But
The second COVID started, I was paying over 14 face. And he even apologized.
not me. Most of the coin shops I go to were doing that. But there was one. And he always sells, no matter what, always selling junk just over spot, except for when silver hit like $12.
Oh, okay, no, that's a lie. I have one dude I met it's the creepiest LCS you'll ever go to. It's in a trailer park. I swear to God, like in the back of a trailer park. And there's a giant auto place with like 7 or 8 garages, and there's 3 down one side, and then 3 that create a little box. And then in the center of this box, there's a little green door that looks like the shed of one of these auto shops. Well, no, that's going to be the LCS. It's like a little 12 by 12 room in between all of these auto body shops, and he's a gray sheet wholesaler. He'll get me anything I want at gray sheet. Doesn't even matter. He's like, I don't care what it is. I don't search it.
Oh, man.
And I mean, I found a 1983 uncirculated mint set, which I know you're like, oh, that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mint gave KP their first batch of coinage, and then they gave them mint tokens for them to put in mint cellos, and they gave them to Coin Magazine. They were the only people who were allowed the 1983 uncirculated mint set, but they put both P and D in it. And I have one that has it on the envelope, and it has a blue for Denver and a red for Philly, or vice versa, in the mint cello still. He sold it to me for $3 because he couldn't find it on the gray sheet, and that's what the 84 went for. Those sets go for like $100.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I got 255 proof flat packs for like 100 something.
Anybody know what that is? Well, Silverman, hold on a minute, because you may know right away, but see if anybody else does.
Yeah, of course I know what that is. I've been wanting one of those for a long time, Rich.
It looks like
They're getting harder to find.
A little bit of a hint right here. But this is General Services Administration, somebody who in the 70s started selling coins.
The GSA.
Yep. And so this one was in 84. 1884, Carson City.
And that was one of the hard packs, right? They didn't. That was one of the ones they put in the stupid soft packs.
No, there was another hard bar.
Because you know, there was a few years where the GSA was putting them in like the one coin in the elongated cello with like the information on one side, and they would put the coin in the other. I've seen a few. I know you have to have seen them. They did them for peace dollars a lot when they found the peace dollars with the.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, also I don't want to sound crazy right now.
Nope, I know.
Because
That's kind of cool.
They didn't want to put all the lower grade Morgans or the common date Morgans and peace dollars in the fancy plastics because it was wasting too much time. Because there was thousands.
Man actually has the canceled checks where he paid by check, and I have those too. So, and I've got the order sheet for him, and so, and he originally had like 35 of them, I think.
I will take this moment to plug Dr. G. That he does a sweet video that talks about how the GSA went about doing this right here, and like how they had a hard time selling them, and how they would give you your money back if you end up bidding too high on something. They would give you the lowest asking bid price because they were just blah. Yep, that thing right there. There you go. Well, Dr. G has a good 30-minute video on just like all kinds of cool stuff. If you've never seen it, fellas.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
Is Dr. G the guy that takes his trips up to Canada?
Indubitably. That's why he hasn't made a video in a year. That D-hole. He's making too much money.
Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's making too much money, having too much fun.
No, it's in Canada. It's not Alaska.
He goes to Alaska all the time for his claim.
Sure, the Yukon. Yukon. Oh shit. Yeah. As I only got to talk to him when he was on your stream, so that was a good day. I got to actually say what's up to somebody who legit gave me a lot of visual info. A lot of educational items.
And that one was a special one. Now it's got a goofy number though. And I don't know if that's because it's a semi-key, but I know it wasn't like the rest of them.
I want to find
85 Carson City.
I want to find a 10-pack of 1970s presets that still got the tamper tape on the box.
Fun stuff.
I want one so bad.
So and they also came in blue.
Those are the ones I'm used to because that's what the proof sets come in. The blue box.
Yeah, I need to do a video telling the story of this family. It needs to be told.
Rich, you know what you should do, my friend, or anybody who knows how already without doing the research, unless you feel like it. A video on how to use the ANA service to get to the library that we're allowed to use, the online library.
Yeah.
I've never tried and I don't know how to do it. And I know that based on the Coin Week, the National Coin Week promotion where the ANA let everybody join for free.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new collectors who officially have the ability to use something that is super, super beneficial that they don't know how. And I'm one of them. I could be reading, I would have already been through like 5 books already.
You know, Michael Kittle's friends with the president.
I was just thinking about that too right now.
Yeah, so nobody's ever made a video on how to get to the ANA's library before. And if there is, it's never popped up for me, and I haven't specifically searched that, and that's my fault. But for the things that I do search, if you know me, you would know that it should have came up already. I've watched videos on the dude who does the True View videos. I watched him build his photo box. You can find that video. That's all I'm saying.
Live the D's.
So I have a 38D that I think would get full steps. I mean, it depends on how lenient they feel like being for it being a first year.
Okay, Bigfoot. We'll see you later.
Take it easy.
Bye, Dale.
But yeah.
Oops.
Oh, hey, there's a VAM. That is a controversial VAM. Some dealers think this is an O over CC. Some dealers think this is an O over O. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the O over CC side because of the shape of this. Even on every example, I feel doesn't look like an O. One moment, please. And there, it'll catch up. So this is VAM. It's either VAM 4, VAM 6, or VAM 10 for the 84O. I've been looking at VAMs all night.
Is that a trigger finger sticking out of there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I was saying this one's. I matched this one perfectly. There, it looks exactly like all of the examples, but I don't see how they think that that is the shape of an O because it clearly dips in, and then there even is a break, and then it looks like it has a just like the CCs do, and so I fully understand why the collectors say that.
What you need to do is get somebody with one of the ones you think it is and make you a template out of plastic, clear plastic, outline the mint mark, and then let you hold it up. Because then it'll be the right size and everything.
Yeah, I got to look at the CC for this year because, I mean, I read that it was like a controversial one. It's on Error Rep.
What year?
1884.
Oh, I think that's a tough one because I think there's
Hey, so did I ever? So, I forgot if I ever told y'all, but you know how like the 1904 Philadelphia is a pretty darn rare date?
Yes, I want to say yes to that.
Not 1904. Sorry, I meant to say. I wanted to say 1894. Sorry.
Yes. That I want to say yes
Right.
to that because
One time when I was at my coin shop.
yeah, I know that 93 is the key date and 96 was the key date.
Mhm.
So yes, so those years.
So I'm trying. Anyway, I think it was at one of my coin shops. They had, just their Morgan bag, and I was just looking through, and they had a 1904, right, as a Philadelphia, and I was like, "There's no way," right? But somebody tried to stamp CC on it. They didn't make a CC that year, and somebody tried to, fake a CC.
Oh God! You ruin a semi-key
And
date.
God, well, I think that coin had under 500,000 on it. How many women did that year?
My red book is right under. 1 second, please. Where am I? Small sense. 1894 O or Philadelphia.
No, Philadelphia.
110,000.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Okay, it's probably a fake 4 then.
Yeah, because the 1893 S has 100,000. It's one of the lowest by far. Yeah, one of like the lowest 2 or 3.
Wait, 1894 Philadelphia. Wait. Oh, it says one. It says only 1,026,000. I thought it'd be less.
Yeah, the 1894 S is 1.2, and the 1894 O is 1.7.
Yeah. Wow. But that guy just ruined the value.
Oh wow, the 1902S. All right.
The worst part is it was a terrible CC fake.
1903S. I gotta start looking for that. That's a 1.2. That's already expensive. I'm pretty sure that this is a new VAM, and I already have sent this coin to the Q&A. They told me that well, originally they went, "Damn, look at that O over S," and then they looked it up and it hasn't been attributed yet, and they think the odds of me finding a new VAM are rather slim, so they think it's not off at that point. I need to send this to Bill Fiba. Fibas. That's a cool one. I like that one.
Yeah, the star's actually a separate piece. It'll fall out of there.
That I like that a whole lot more now.
Oh wow.
Where did that come from?
I think it's $1, and you drop that center out, and it's 35 cents. No.
No, Perthman.
Yeah, it's my
Yes.
only world bullion that I have.
I'm looking into that bad boy because that is awesome if that separates.
Yeah, it's a little more expensive because of it, but it's pretty cool. Here, I got the write-up on it.
That's super cool. Have you seen the sand dollar? It's the 1 ounce round that looks exactly like a sand dollar on one side with like no writing or inscriptions or anything.
No, I don't think so.
It's super cool.
So that's pretty cool. So, and they're numbered. Centenary. Even comes in a nice little case. Yeah, I don't care for the bullion coins, but this one was actually a gift, and the guy asked me right away. He said, "Now, I understand if you traded away for your stupid pennies." And I thought, "Oh, that one's so cool. I won't." But he tried to give me gold ones, smaller.
I know I can get you on that though, because
Yeah,
I know there's
no, don't I don't collect gold for a reason.
some bullion that you appreciate, and that
No,
is
those
the
ones.
stuff of Dan Carr.
And I'll take that back because I actually own a couple Dan Carr coins.
I know, so I'm gonna catch you on your words right now because I know there's one that you enjoy.
But to me, that's not bullion. That's art.
I agree. I fully agree with you.
So the dude's pretty amazing.
And he is super friendly. Like you can go in there and give him a coin and a design, and he'll stamp it for you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It doesn't even matter if it's like been like sanded down or anything. He'll stamp over anything you give him, and he has an open house, according to Michael Kittle, that he lets everybody in, and he shows you the process and stamps coin right into your hand, and like overstrikes things, and like gives you a whole like tutorial and info about things. Like really cool stuff from what I hear.
Well, I'm not sure which one. I think it's a Philly that he has the press for.
Oh yeah. He bought the old press, and he dug it out and pulled out so many mint errors out of the old machine. Like
That's so cool because, of course, they'd be
Okay,
yanking
kid.
them.
he got to take it apart and put it back together. And like, can you imagine if you would have found a copper on steel or steel on copper that were, you know what I'm saying? Oh man.
A dozen of them.
Oh, and I bet he did, and he's gonna trickle him out if he's a smart man. one every few years, 5 or 6 years, dump one into the market, make a couple $30,000, go on vacation.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a smart fella.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
He's
he's done everything to keep track, to number them and stuff. That's somebody who knows what they're doing.
and he works his dyes until they blow up, and then he burns them, melts them down, and uses the ashes to make a new one. So he doesn't let anything slip. And I love his. He makes dates on coins that never existed, so he doesn't have to put copy on them, like the 1963 Kennedy, the 1923 Morgan, the 1964 Benji. I think he did a 1940 or what is it, like a 1930 something, whatever year they didn't do Mercs, he did a Merc.
Yeah, well, he has the 2009 SVDB.
Yeah, the 09.
I love that.
That's so fucking cool. I didn't know he did that one until Kiddo told me about it, and I had to do some looking up because that is BA.
Yeah, and I think he did the 1908 SVDB.
Yes. I love how he just does coin. He does like the cap bust on years that don't exist too. Like he has no problems. That's how Sheldon has the 1864 Kennedy or something, whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's the neat thing about him because he covers all the coins that most basic collectors want, but then he covers the super high-end guys doing rare gold coins, and he's picking years that didn't exist, giving them their fantasy coins, which that's a pretty wide group to please.
He did the gold Indians, all the 2.5, the 5, and the 10. He did those on quarter ounce, half ounce, and ounce gold rounds. And I'm gonna get me a quarter ounce $10 gold Indian because I think it'll be cheaper than me actually getting my dream coin, which is a $10 gold Indian.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So, and I wish I could afford the coins that were Michael's club coins in the gold because they sure were gorgeous. That 55 one, oh man, it's just beautiful.
I'll see him at a show one day and cherry pick stuff next to him. I guarantee it.
Well, you even have a starter conversation with the coins you found in pawn shops. So.
Oh yeah, and I had one of the LCSs up in Arvada, a few towns away. They get Dan cars constantly. She told me that she couldn't sell his the Buffalo nickels and bar pours and rounds that she had that were his.
See, and that's just not knowing how to advertise them properly.
Exactly. They were either slabbed in a Dankar NGC or an Annex slab, or they were had his hand signature 2x2, like the little flips that he would give out with his hand signature on the back. I have 3 of those somewhere. I saved them, of course, because it's obviously blue ballpoint pen for his signature.
No,
it wasn't
show up.
It wasn't like a printed thing. I'm pretty sure this is an O over S. Oh, I'm not even pretty sure. I'm sure this is a gram that I can't find.
See that one?
Is that the 56D over D?
Yeah.
I have the 58 D over D over D.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I found it in a BU roll at the LCS. I bought the coin as a single coin purchase for a nickel.
Wow, that's really cool. I know I've got one of the triple D ones, but I'm not sure what year it is. But
I know the 54 has one, the 56, I'm pretty sure 56 has one, 58.
I know it's MS65 or better.
I'm thinking mine is I would say 64 for sure. I'm going to hope for 65, but this one I'm not as positive. Where did I put that? No, there.
Are you into shooting and rifles?
Oh yes, sir. I started earlier with that one, BB gun competition, since we were like able to cock a Red Ryder.
I'll send you a link to a contest that's going on right now. If you follow the link, it'll give me 800 or 900 entries into the contest for a $5,000 American-made 300 Winchester.
Well, if you end up winning, just send me a BU roll of some Wheaties or something. Just one.
Well, no, you'll enter for yourself. I'll just get credit for you going through my link. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They give away guns and nice ones about every 2 months.
I'd rather not have put it away already. I'll be angry if I got to go back through a book already.
Now, what rifles were we looking at, Hector? And we looked it up.
Henry.
Henry, yeah. We got in a discussion and we were both wrong.
Because we're watching, I was telling you that somehow we got started talking about movies and the guns that they were using instead of the movies like Silverado. What's the other one we talked about? Silverado is the main one we talked about, the Henry rifle.
Okay.
Yeah, and Henry Rifles going strong. They've got a really great website with some beautiful rifles.
Yep.
And they're golden big boy. So, and they had it was the, I forget what caliber that one was. 40-44?
I hope I get my grandpa's. I hope I get.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it was 40-45, but it was a rimfire,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
I hope I get my grandpa's Colt 45 6-shooter with a mother of pearl handle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the one. It's like the one gun I hope I get, because when I turned 14 or 15, he sold his little fucking Indian. I think it was like an Indian 50 or Indian 20 or something minuscule. It looks like a mini Harley. The little motorcycle with the little Indians.
Yep.
He had one and it didn't work, so he had it in the top of his shed. And I remember him selling that before I was old enough to want one.
So I've got pictures of my family who owned a dealership in Woodland, California, and they sold both Indian and Harley and had all the very first of the motor bicycles. And it shows all my great uncles and stuff riding them.
The bicycle was like the itty bitty gas tank, and you had to like pedal start it off. Basically,
Yeah.
those things are hard.
And some of them are worth over $100,000 now.
Oh yeah, those things are hard as hell.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially the early ones. So my family would end up with the ones that people either got scared of because they went too fast, or their kids couldn't handle them or whatever, and then they'd take them back to the dealership and they'd buy them back for half the price and give them to their kids.
It's a harder year to get looking pretty.
Which one? 50? Yeah, that is a hard one.
Yeah. OVW roll cost me $50, gray sheet price. I was like, yeah, I won't pass that up though. I'm not a person.
Yeah, and I don't remember Gray Sheet being that high on those.
It's a recent spike, I think, because he said it just went up, and I actually genuinely trust that LCS because he's like super pure business. He's got no emotion to things whatsoever.
It's nice when that happens because although they still may gouge you price-wise, they're not searching through everything. They're not
Nope. He doesn't even let you go
cherry-picking
through.
at all.
He doesn't let customers go through the junk silver. You tell him how many dollars face you want. He goes in, or he has one of the employees going back, and they come out with a bag full of exactly how many dollars you wanted. I hated it the first time until I went home and I pulled out more teen and 20 Mercs than I had ever found at any other LCS picking them myself.
Gray Sheet right now on the 54 roll is $31.
Oh, wow, so he did charge a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, Most of the dealers won't go by this value for key date coins.
Oh no, yeah, especially the
Gray
conditional
sheets.
rarity.
Yeah, Gray Sheet is still kind of going off of old prices for the rolls for some reason.
And they're getting hard to find.
Yeah, that's why I always bring up the Gray Sheets when I'm trying to buy rolls from coin dealerships that aren't familiar with me.
Yeah, and it's a hit or miss if that works or not.
Yeah, yeah, and it's true. About 50% are strict with it. The other half, it's a beginning price or a happy middle that they evaluate with other prices.
I recently found a dude who specifically only sells at his company's estate sales when he gets the bid for it, and he sets up 2 coin display cases. One is full of all the notes that I'm ever wanting to buy. I mean, fractionals from Canada and America. I didn't know there was Canadian fractional currency bills, all the way to like horse blankets of all denominations. I think there was a $500 bill in there. Crazy cool stuff. But
Nice.
he only sells at the estate sale. He will not allow you to contact him. He will not tell you where he's going to be next. He doesn't even he gave me a card, but he never answers and he has no info.
But
But
you gotta understand, those guys are the biggest ones robbed. So
Oh, yeah. I don't hate him. I don't hate him for it, but I love the guy. He has undergraded, undervalued early American copper. So large cents, half cents, trade dollars is where I got my Oregon Trail commemorative. But my large cents, I paid on average $10 a piece for almost full Liberty large cents with no details grade on them. Like these would straight grade.
hey, Field Guy, did you make it?
Oh, I'm here. I just don't want to break up your conversation.
Okay. I saw what you wrote in the
Yeah.
chat. Sure.
No.
Hey, Dan,
Y'all are having such a detailed conversation. I'm just sitting here listening. I don't want to interrupt y'all.
Sorry, I get heated with stuff I'm passionate about, and that's coins and coins, really.
and I just sit here and listen so I can learn.
I don't mind listening.
No, I don't mind either.
Hey, Darren.
Yeah, as soon as I hop on, I notice everybody left. I said, "Oh, I killed Chad again." That just seems to be what happens.
Well, a few people left because they had lunch to get to, and some people said they had to get to work.
I already ate lunch and I don't have work, so
Well, I haven't had lunch, and I'm supposed to go to work.
I wish I had it the other way around. I would gladly give up lunch to go to work. Good.
Well, I'm not working full time though. It's just a part time job.
I don't even have that.
Well,
Shut
I was teaching in March, and we're not sure if we're going back in September.
They shoved this in here, and it's one that wasn't supposed to be in here. That's what no air does. That's what air does. I couldn't get this thing out unless I broke it in half with a pair of pliers. The case.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was the wrong size, so they shoved this thing in there. So this has seen no air since.
Yeah.
Somebody shoved that in a coin star?
No, in this holder. This is half of a holder, and it's the wrong holder for what this round size is, the diameter. So they we're talking. They put a cloth over it and fucking beat this thing in there to get it in there.
Well, actually, it could be the right size because the early ones, they shrunk up on you and they just barely fit to start with. But yeah, all my very early ones that are to fit, the coins are jammed in there, and I broke them out because I didn't want them damaging the coins or not being able to properly seal it.
Yep, because that's exactly what they will happen. One side will get air to it, and one side will be crystal clear.
Yeah. Now I like the tubes that the coin rolls get stuck in. Those are fun because normally the coins are pristine because truly air has got to them since they were put in and they shrunk.
Rich, I gotta send you some of these. I have a dude at the LCS who's crazy as your craziest uncle when he's wasted, I swear.
Careful, I got some crazy ones.
I'm saying that knowing this even. This dude is like, for lack of better words, he's batshit crazy. But he has amazing varieties and decent ideas. This is I think you're gonna be the person who genuinely enjoys this actually. So these are basically the same material as shrink tubes. They're really, really hard, really stiff, but they're used to go around the seal of your tube,
Yeah,
and then you hit it with the hair dryer, and it shrink tubes your seal, so you don't have to use tape.
yeah, and that's because the tape actually causes toning.
So I actually, if anybody's interested in these, I can get little packages of these now.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested because they're hard to come by.
Yeah, he actually has. He's starting to market them. They have a little market and everything. He's wanting to get somebody to draw up an illustration for him. So I'm gonna give him Chuck Daughtry's number, or I already did, but he's crazy, so I'm gonna contact Chuck for him.
That might be a good idea.
Because I think this is an idea that is worthy of such actions because they work. They're not weak, thin PVC plastic. I mean, they'll break and crack and like snap if I keep bending them before I heat them up. And when you heat them up, they're perfect. I mean, they stay exactly like you want. There's a little bit of play unless I hit it with the hair dryer like fully. I didn't want to burn it with the lighter, but they work. They really do work. So
Yeah.
yes, I will absolutely, because I know that you have enough to use those, and I really think that your test will be like a really good thing for him.
Keep in mind, I don't keep my BUs in any of the round tubes.
No, oh no, these are big enough to fit, and they don't have to be on round. They will fit on
Oh,
these.
cool.
I have tested them on all. I have tested them on these, and they work equally as well.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'd love to get my older years all sealed up.
And he has both sizes. He has so this is going to be, I mean, I think I could get it on a quarter roll if I tried hard enough, but I would suggest going to the other size for quarters and halves.
Yeah, with everything else I have, it's silver other than my nickels. And the nickels, I kind of like them to tone. So
yeah,
that's not an issue for me. But pennies, they're such a bear to keep red. No, that's cool. Yeah, you really should be using the hair dryer because it's a lot more even.
Yes, yeah. This was just a test. This isn't even a roll that deserves to stay in here.
Yeah.
These were just clean enough for me to get out of the brown rolls until I could search for varieties.
Yeah, and if you do it right, you leave just a little bit hanging over the top, and then you heat that extra bit so it actually curls over.
Yeah, and I will do that with the hair dryer if I wanted to keep this in there. That way, it was an even seal around.
Otherwise, that'll burn. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that was just to show you that they actually fit on the squares because I know that that's what you use, and the octagons.
When the round ones came out back in the probably 60s, I really don't remember when they came out, but they did have those at that time. But people weren't collecting coins the same way because your penny stayed red because they weren't old yet.
And then the double end shrink-ish tubes that were almost shrink tubes, but not really, and they had caps on both ends. I love those tubes.
Yeah, and I had a whole bunch from I forget which bank it was, but they turned out to be just wonderful coins.
Or the peg tubes, if you can find a collection of the round ones, but they're not a screw. It's a little slot on the cap, and there's a peg on the top of the tube, and you have to slot it in there. Those are time sensitive or time appropriate for like mid 60s. I mean, Rich will probably know the actual date to it, but from what I have found,
yeah, here they are right here.
those are the ones I find.
That's a screw one.
Well, that's some thread.
But I know I've got a bunch of them somewhere. I probably have them all in the same bag.
Yeah, because those ones they're noticeably better for what they do to your coin rim, which is huge. Because the new rad ones, they turn your rims all blood and brown and gross.
Yeah, here's one.
Sorry, field guy.
There it is.
Oh, so it was the other way around. Pegs on the lid, notches on
Well,
the teeth.
I've seen them both ways.
Okay, I was gonna say, 'cause I really think mine was the other one.
Yeah. See, they tried all kinds of different things trying to solve the issue of the air toning and changing colors, but there was just no good way of doing it back then.
Field guy left.
Yeah, I didn't give him much time to talk. Me and Rich got into a real good conversation right when he popped in. It was bad
Yeah.
timing. I'll start getting super speedy talking and excited if I start getting real into the conversation like this. That's a beautiful SMS.
Yeah, and the coin wrappers that I'm looking for, if anybody ever finds any, is the aluminum foil
I
line.
know somebody who has some, and he's willing to trade.
Well, I'm definitely interested.
Remember Mr. Santorter that we keep talking, and I said is like a
Oh, yeah.
menu. Yeah, I watched him open 3 of them recently. I think he's sending me 1 or 2, and I know he's got. I'm not going to put a number on it, but I know that he's willing to trade for things, especially the things you have.
Yeah, and I'm looking for unused ones.
No, he has rolled ones. I don't think he
Right.
has. Yeah, he doesn't have the foil sheets. That would be really cool.
Has he opened a couple of those in videos?
No, he doesn't do any videos. He does them all on like private hangouts with a group of us. It's Midnight, me, Young Coin Hunter, Hoovy.
Oh, I'll be darned. I'm surprised I didn't catch one of those. Yeah,
Oh,
because
right. Well,
I'd love to see some of the coins out of those, especially the pennies for some older dates.
Oh, that's all he deals with. He does not collect. He doesn't even collect silver. He has a nickel album that'll make you weak in the knees, and then he has just copper. He's exactly like you. I would say he's trying to hit 1,000 pounds of BU rolls, bro. Just like I'm telling you. He wasn't lucky enough to live at the time where he could buy them, so he's very picky about how he buys them. But man, does he love them.
Yeah. Hey, Hector Darren's in the chat.
Yeah, I saw him a little while
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah, I said hi. I think I did. I hope I did.
Changed his name a bit, so I wasn't sure.
A dime bag, yeah.
I traded him my 1806 small 6 no stems half cent graded at an extra fine 30 for a little bit of cash because I had to help my mom pay a surgery, and then to make up the difference, he's sending me a package that'll be here tomorrow, and it's going to be epic.
Cool. Well, sorry about the reasoning, but
He said that he wouldn't sell it, and I will get a chance to buy it back, and that was all I asked. I said, bro, please just give me the chance to buy it, and I will present you with another half cent in return before I ask. But it would be real nice if I was at least given the opportunity to get it for at least close to what I gave it to you for. Because what I gave it to him for was roughly what I paid for it, which was an insane deal, and even he knew it.
well, he's after missing dates in his Canadian book, so you might be able to help him there.
Which one is it? Huh. The LCSs around here, undergrade woodies constantly. And when I say constantly, I mean constantly. It's just insanely. Oh, where are you? There you are.
Well, a lot of them pull them and display them thinking they're just tone coins. So, because neither of my coin shops, I pulled out a whole bunch and asked how much you want for these woodies, and he's like, What do you call those? They're Wheaties. It's like Woodies. Wheaties. It's like, you realize these are errors, right? He goes, those are errors? What makes those errors? They're Woodies. They're Wheaties. That was a fun conversation.
It's like who's on first all over again.
Yeah, it's like Michael Kittle with doing that Swiss silver and talking about the Staples he bought at Staples for his steak. Girl got us rolling. Oh, that's some nice Indians, especially that one on the end.
Yeah, I was making good money, and I saw an auction, and I just on a whim I put a $40 bid because I expected it to go much higher. And these little two spots on his cheek have shown up since I had it, unfortunately. But I don't think this is doing the color justice because it is a good red, but natural looking red.
Yeah, it looks like a proof flag.
I think so, and that's why I put the $40 bid down. And this one was the only coin at an estate sale. That it was the very first one I ever showed up to, and it was in a Ziploc baggie for $2. And then this one, yeah, that's accurately showing what it looks like. So much blue.
Yeah, that shows it pretty good.
Yeah, it was on this one. I've never gotten to show up this well because I mean, there's a reason why it made it to this book, but it didn't make it to the 55 spot.
Yeah, when it flashes, you see all that color.
So I think one of the better ones is going to be the 58 because it had to have been one of the first ones off that die. And then the only other one, oh, my 54 has some cool.
Yeah, it's a shiner.
And then my
When you have the brown toned coins next to these BU coins, it will cause issues.
okay, so that's going to come out today then. Okay. Move because these are my favorites right here. My 50S and 50D are probably my best conditioned 2 coins.
Nice.
And this one I cracked out of a 68 holder.
So you should pick up the Capital Plastics for the 50s, for the pennies. It's 3 holes. It's marked 1950 mint set.
Yeah, I absolutely should. Yeah, these two are woo.
Yeah, that's a fun one to do when you have all 3. Or the other one was the special medals for the war ones. And
I got one. Unfortunately, I thought I got one of those that somebody had put together that was bee's knees. Unfortunately, I got a replated one.
oh yeah, and I was actually talking about the other copper material mixed with the what they call those. Shit. I have to check.
I don't know if this one's replated. I thought it from the beginning that it looked a bit different than the other two, and the where it goes to the rim.
Yeah, where you want to look is around Liberty, because normally it gets kind of bumpy around the letters because of plating.
Yeah,
if it's nice and smooth and sharp edges, normally you do okay.
And this one actually has corrosion like the steel does around the bottom, and these ones have hidden it because of the plating. So I'm almost half tempted to buff that out.
Yeah, can you show me for a second, Hector?
Sure.
Here's the one I was talking about.
Oh shit! No.
Shell case copper.
And
And the steels.
this is whenever if Hector puts all of us up again for
I'm
I don't
done.
need to be up by my lonesome. So this is what I had it originally. I mean, I've replaced them obviously, but this is what it was in. Which this thing is way cooler than I thought, and I want to find more of them because
The only problem is the cardboard in some of them caused a lot of toning.
and I'm okay with the toning, which is why I put 3 BU coins in to see what color it would turn them. But it has a clear piece of plastic in between the cardboard.
Yeah, I remember you showing this one.
That like it's the coolest thing ever. Like I want to find more of these pieces of cardboard that have that little plastic divider because yeah, I've never seen one that you didn't have to pop them in. Like they
Yeah, and these ones, if you get the older ones, the cardboard's not as bad, and there's actually a lip all the way around the edge, so it's not just a flat lip. It's not just flat to flat for the seal around it. It's actually lipped.
yeah, this one hasn't turned these any color at all in a year. It's looking pretty good. Oh, one of these looks like a small date.
Now that one I had my coins in, but I had to pull them all out to send in to be graded.
I have one capital set, but unfortunately,
I wish.
it was just an empty capital set. But unfortunately, I didn't keep it in good enough condition while I had it just waiting for a good enough proof set to put in it. And now the front and back are so scratched, I refuse to use it until I get to use this headlight cleaner, the headlight lens restorer.
Mm-hmm.
I was told that if ever you have a slab or airtight or something that's getting a little scuffed up, hit it with the headlight lens restorer.
Yeah, and actually you can do better than that. There's actually a glass polisher that's better.
Okay. Thank you.
The headlight one, I mean, they even use toothpaste for that one because that little bit of grit helps. But what it is, it's a wax with some cutting material in it. And you need to be careful.
And it has DEET, because DEET is like the oil base that they use. The oil that they use is DEET, and that's the thing that does the most effective restoration, I guess. Because there was there for a while when the lens restoration first came out, everybody was just like, dude, just buy off because the DEET is what is in that stuff, and it worked better than the first couple brands of that lens restorer.
So this one has the trade dollar and the 3 cents.
How many of those do you have?
Just one.
Damn
I've only ever seen one.
I know, me too. It's this one right here.
Tell you what, if you come up with one of these proof coins, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I got better chance of finding that 1910 proof $10 gold Indian.
I didn't say it was gonna be easy.
Oh, okay, so I just have to find it. I don't have to purchase it. I just have to show it
Oh,
to you.
now I guess I did screw up on that one.
No, you didn't. You did.
I can do that. I'll
Rick
find
said
it.
you get one. That's the same thing as purchasing.
Yeah, that's just a cool one. And I, as you guys know, collect the Capital Plastics in general for the oddities. And I have a bunch of them. I've got, well, you guys have seen my different mint sets. I got 60. I have the double sets for the proof sets.
Yeah, if you find me a double barrel mint set.
I got the mint sets for like quarters, the type sets. I have that for dimes and pennies.
Do you have a proof Merc? Do you have a proof Merc or the proof Buffalo?
No, not the proof ones. I have it for pennies.
Yeah, the 38. I want the oddity proofs. I want a proof Walker. I want a proof Merc, and I want the proof fucking Buffalo. Oh, well, I guess there's more than one proof. I guess there's 3, right?
I'm not sure on those.
Well, didn't they start proof sets in 36, or did they start them in 38?
No, they go back further.
No, I think it's either 36, 34, or 38, but then before then it was just proof coins. They didn't do packs at all.
Yeah, and I don't know on that one.
I'm looking for my book because I will find out that answer. Where the hell?
So I don't clean my coins. The only time I use anything is if I have damage happening to a coin I'm trying to grade.
So I have MS-70. I've never opened it, but I have a few foggers.
Oh, is that which one the Xylene is?
No, Xylene, I want to get some. It's kind of hard to find because it causes cancer, so it's pretty restricted these days. In fact, Hector puts us all up for a moment. From what I hear, I still advise to not put this on copper ever. I advise you put nothing on copper ever unless you know and can get a hold of Xylene and or I'm going to call it BR because if you know what it is, me saying BR, you know what I'm saying. And if not, don't worry about it. Because that stuff's impossible to find.
Yeah, now I have used this one, but only for, I had some pennies that were super porous.
I've heard of that stuff.
Yeah, and it
Well,
actually,
I've seen it in,
you can get coins graded after using it as long as you use it properly.
this as well, the MS-70 and as well as this jar right here. Not only have I used it and have a coin being sent in right now for grading, but I know somebody who uses this almost religiously when he sends in proof Benjis and proof quarters and stuff from the 50s. He dips it in this that's just slightly diluted, but he does a full-on dunk and then takes a picture of it in the dunk bubbling up, smelling all sulfury. Takes it out, does a power blast rinse in high pressure water like you're supposed to. I don't know if he does an acetone or xylene drip for it to dry with no spots, or if he actually does pat dry. I haven't asked that, but he has never once hit a details grade, and he hits rather quality grade Benjis. He's well on his way to be a good name in the numismatic world, and he uses this specifically constantly. And that's why I got that stuff. He told me after I watched him, because he sends stuff weekly to PCGS or NGC weekly. He's got a proof set going in and coming back, and he dunks. I'd say 80% of them he dips, because he specifically buys the foggy sets. He'll go buy a foggy 53 set, hoping that once he dips the fog away, the fog on the Kennedy stays there, the fog on the Benji stays there. That's his way of cherry picking.
Yeah, and as a kid, I was kind of dumb and did dumb things with chemistry sets, and I had chemicals that nobody else could get, and his dad worked at a refinery and was trying to make up for bad things. So whenever he had an opportunity to sprinkle me with something like that, I had big vials of mercury and acids that no kid should ever have, and stuff like that. And I actually put one of my Benjis in, just curious what would happen, and it caused pitting fairly quickly. I think a day or two it was showing pitting, and it was a really nice Benji. But strangely, some metals will do to each other. Well, actually, I don't know if you consider mercury a metal, but
Woo! That is a deep cameo 71 Lincoln on both sides.
what year was cameos consistent?
After 72, so this is like the last year where if you can find a deep cam Benj or Kennedy, I hear it's upwards of $1,000 if you can hit like a 68 deep cam or 69 deep cam. It's one of the, well, it's the last one that is exponentially expensive. And Lincoln, I don't know if 71 is exponentially expensive for that one, but I know that this is one. And I know that the 59 is noteworthy for anything. The 59 is I don't know why, but it was the hardest year since 53 to hit a cameo grade.
For 71?
No, for 59. 59 is like a year where cameos almost just, I wouldn't say they don't exist because they do and all right, but it's not frequent, it's not easy, and they are not cheap if you get one graded.
Yeah, now for the 71s, the deep cam isn't money until you hit 68. It's $100, 120.
Okay. I think that one's worth it. I think this
Okay.
one in particular is worth it. Then
69 is 1200. And let me
This
go
has-
back and I'll look up the other one. Wait, 59 you said for Kennedy?
yeah, 59 for any of them actually. 59 is one of the years that for any of them is
Yeah.
money.
Of course, it's not Kennedy.
And I found this deep cam or potential. It's the frostiest 59 Lincoln I've ever seen it with my eyes, whether it be online, in hand, at a show. It is the frostiest one I have ever seen.
So 59 D cam Franklin is $1,800 for a 64.
Yeah, right.
That's cool. A
Yeah, that was-
66 is 3,700 and a 67 is 11 grand.
Yep, that was a year that for some reason the 58 not near as much money. The 60 not near as much money. Something in 59 they didn't do as well, and it is bank to hit a deep cam on any denomination. I do my research constantly, and that was one of the recent ones that I have stumbled across.
Oh, Coin Captain's asking a question.
Oh, and the SMS deep cam Lincolns. I have a 67 that I think will touch one.
Yeah, and there's a few of the SMS coins that are money.
Which coin do you believe we can find and sell the best? Toners and silver. People aren't. The interest in varieties and Lincolns is dwindling because of the amount of auctions that have been going up the past 3 weeks to a month. We're talking. It was kind of bad when people were making good money, but now that nobody's making money and everybody's needing it, the auctions have tripled, and it's all roughly the same stuff: foreign bullion, colorized ASEs, and Lincolns, and they're tapping the market out. It's disappearing. So toned silver, yes. Type coins, yes. Morgans all day. Peace dollars, they'll always be the peace dollar collector. I wouldn't advise getting brilliant ones unless they're slabbed, because the peace dollar collectors do not spend more than $25 unless it's slabbed. And personally, I think nickels are going to explode, and that's all I'm going to say on that, because I'm going to take advantage of that myself. So that's all I'm going to say on that one.
When, because like when I was selling on eBay really hard, I always kept a few things in mind. When I was selling my antiques, I did best when I found an item that covered 3 different collectors. So say postcards. Well, postcards with fire engines for all the firemen and families out there for that stuff. Or particular time of the year, Halloween, that kind of stuff. You find certain little things like a witch on it and that kind of thing. All of a sudden you got, several different types of collectors that'll collect it. For coins, if you get a good graded coin that has an error and is copper, for example, you got 3 possible groups to be getting. Of course, right now with the way everybody's stuck at home, personally, I push people towards newer bankrolls the last 5 to 10 years. Look for the high grades because of how crappy the mint is right now with our coins. A 67 pays money, and you don't see that normally for the newer coins. But
Nope.
most of the coins are in pretty crappy shape.
And it's going to take
Seven.
it's going to make collectors take the plunge that we're all afraid to take, and that's you got to see how good your eye is and send stuff in for grading, because that's the point where raw collectors don't believe you. They won't take your word on things of that nature.
No.
You gotta take that plunge and like go lose sight of the shore to see new land. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I hate to say it this way, but you basically need a flawless coin, one that you see no problems on. That's the coin you want. Because
And you want to
when
send
you
in,
get somebody who has the eye for it, they're going to see stuff you don't.
and
Check
if you can,
the rims,
can't-
nobody checks.
send in 4 of them. If you can, send in your 4 best of the same date. That way he's not looking at one pretty good looking coin. He's looking at 4, and one of them is like, damn to him, you know? Send in some fluffer coins, we call them. It's easier that's why they do the ball grades, because if they're looking at 100 coins of the same date, it's easier to pick out the 1 or 2 that look better than all the rest, and that's how they'll pop out a 68 or 2. I can't afford that kind of scale, so I advise the 4 to 5 range of
That's
like
a great idea.
the best of the best, so that way they see 4 pretty remarkable specimens, but out of those 4 they'll see one that's just like a little better than the rest, and your chances are I would say a percentage better of getting that grade.
When you're a judge and you can give up to 100%, you don't give a high score to an early competitor because you're thinking could be somebody quite a bit better than this person. I don't want to give out an 80 right now because that'll cramp me between 80 and 100 for anybody who gets any better than this person. So, but like you say, when you have other ones to compare side by side, that's a good, like psychologically, that puts a person in a slightly different position. Smart thinking.
Yes, sir. And for example, the West Point quarters that they're grading, they're not even handing out 67s like you on coins that deserve 68s. They did that with the Buffalo nickel originally, and went back and even admittedly said they undergraded them for like a decade.
Wow. It's not even fair. You're looking for them to be impartial.
Yeah, like they admitted that they thought that there was going to be better strikes coming out, and no better strikes ever came.
You know what? If you were to look at that from if you wanted to get really into it and look at that on the most critical point of view, that's fraud.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's just like now, PCGS now does proof-like designations on business strike coins. They started doing this within the past 5 years, which means every coin they graded before then that could have had a PL designation, now they have a market for them to be regraded for more money and a smaller population. So they like reopened a new door for money
for themselves too, with tests to get done.
Oh yeah, because they don't give you discounts on regrades. No sir, that's a full on. It's a privilege to get your coin graded, and you pay for that privilege, quote unquote.
So another thing a lot of people don't know is PCGS is normally more valuable coins, get better dollars, but they are a tougher grade to get. But if you're doing a more modern coin, they cost half the price of the older coins to get graded.
And NGC is tougher on Benjamin for full split bands and dimes for full torch, because they need a full torch. They care about the horizontal and vertical lines. PCGS admittedly says that they are not as strict as NGC on those, because PCGS only cares about the bottom lines being completely uninterrupted no matter what. NGC has every line on that bell has to be uninterrupted. PCGS, the one up top, as long as it doesn't screw with the flow of metal, it can have a little in it. And I've seen many examples that do say this. And the torches for PCGS, they only care about the 2 sets of horizontal lines. So for Rosies and Benjis, NGC is admittedly stricter, but both companies admit that, which I find very interesting. If you go to the websites, they both admittedly have it in their like bulletin info. Like it's not hidden at all.
Well, and the problem too is, I've gone through the coins so much on their websites, looking through all the other photos that aren't 67s to see the differences between lower grades. And some of the coins that get like 65 and 66 shouldn't even get 64s.
The last Heritage auction I saw, the last Heritage, every Lincoln, every copper cent in that last Heritage auction from March 28th, the 64s looked like 61s, and they were getting like $1,200 bids. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, and it's strange because I've sent coins in that absolutely are better than the ones in their pictures and never get the grade. It's frustrating.
That's why I'm a huge advocate on sending in the more than one. And if you want your coin graded for an attribution, get it graded for the grade first. I'm telling you to spend money twice. Yeah, you quote me on it, hold me to it, I don't care. But if you have them look at your coin for a variety, they're looking at it under a 15 to 30 times loop. They are looking at your coin. When they grade it, they have on average a 5-power loop, and they look at it for 10 seconds at most. They are not scrutinizing your coin front and back. Send it in for grading. And when it comes back, if it gets a decent enough grade to where with the variety, you get a chunk of change, send it back, have them put the variety on the label so they don't scrutinize it all over again because it was their grade originally. That is how you get higher grade variety.
Hate to say it this way, but if they spend 10 seconds on your coin, you're a darn lucky person.
You see, and when you do a variety, they put a 10-power loop and they start matching die markers and pickup points. So they look at the rim real deep. They look at your die push marker, your hairlines that go towards the rim from where on the die. They start picking it apart. They look at the steps on your Lincoln. If you want a variety, because they do put more time into it. If you don't want a variety, you just want grading. They don't. They, front, back, nothing got my eye unless it caught their eye in a good way. Numbers down. They're done. They're done. So, absolutely send your coin in for grading. If you like the grade, send it on back. Get your attribution. Enjoy your profit margin then, because you would not see it if you tried it all at once. And too many people do that. And I've only heard of one other person besides me that has talked about doing this method. And I guarantee you success. I mean, logically, it seems sound even. And I know that's one I've seen and am currently testing.
Do you offer a money back guarantee with that?
When I start my auctions, if I say something is something, if you send it for grading and it doesn't get it, I will send it for regrade on one time on my dollar. Because if I say something is something, it will have a one-time retry on my dollar to prove it, or I won't say it. It is with certainty, and that's going to be one of my unique auction points.
All right, I got 1,500 questionable pennies here. How long will it take you?
Huh? You have what?
1,500 questionable pennies.
I like it. I like it.
Somebody's got a new hobby.
Yeah, my favorite thing.
Been setting them aside for so long.
Are you a coin collector? No, I only look at pennies. I like pennies. That's all I look at, pennies. My girlfriend's name is Penny.
No, I like Morgans too.
1,500 pennies later, you might just get mesmerized. Like, you change as a man, you know? It's like, seen too many things. Seen too many things. I can't go back.
Right?
Good morning, everybody, by the way.
That's how nickels are. There's too much dye wear for me to ever look at nickels religiously. Just wasn't a good enough metal.
I was successful in putting together for myself a new rig for taking my videos and pictures of coins. It's one of those, I'm a caveman. I'm looking at what I've got and what can I use with what I've got nearby to make this thing. And I put up a little video of it because it's hokey as crap, but I love it. It's going to work really well.
My phone's what my phone is using to stand on its own right now is a broken selfie stick sitting in a jar of pennies. I know what you mean.
I love it. When you see mine, you'll see what I mean. But I'll tell you quickly, I wanted to hold the tablet on so I wanted a tablet tablet holder that would go like on a mic stand. And I got this thing for another reason. As I looked at it, I thought that might just hold the phone. But when I put the phone in it, I realized, well, it covers the screen. I can't use this to hold the phone. But then I modified it. And at the cost of one steel ruler, I took that steel ruler, I cut it in half, and I fashioned the parts I need. And now this sucker is just great.
The irony in that sentence is I have a mic stand sitting behind me that I just pulled out of my storage.
Wait till you see what I did. You might want to buy the same iClip iPad holder, and it'll hold your phone, any kind of tablet, whatever you want it to hold, kind of thing. That'll go between the two spring holders. Pretty straightforward, but I'm pretty happy with it. Very happy.
Yeah, I like the 3-piece arms for the boom mic or the boom light stand. Lets me put it wherever I want.
These are my 3 crack out challenge coins. I'm cracking her, and I'm cracking him.
Well, I opened my bicentennial quarter.
Oh, did you just now? Oh, snap.
So what are you thinking with them? Do you have a couple error coins, or is it just grade?
Oh, this one, I'm thinking, I'm saying PL, undergraded. Because this is the most reflective Morgan I personally own or have held. I went through 2 shoe boxes that they had, or 2 dealer boxes, and out of every Morgan, this was the only one that reflected back at me in this nature, out of that entire box. And this was the only one that reflected back at me out of the other box. And this one's a 63, which I call shenanigans on the 63 part of that all day. And then this, well, one, it's a PCI holder, and the numismatic world doesn't respect them. And I think this is a lot better than just a 66 Cameo, considering it's an SMS set. And this is exactly like what my Cameo book says the deep cam looks like.
That's cool.
So yeah, this was my first online buy to crack out, because the second I saw it, my gut said buy it, and I've only ever hated it when I've argued to my gut, because it's right 100% of the time.
Yeah, I do believe in that first
Oh, my gut.
thought on things.
Yep, my gut is so pinpointed right, and I hate to say it, but I am one of those people that's a stupid empath, and you feel feelings and you feel tension, like you can taste it even if it's virtual. Like when it gets awkward on here with people arguing, I can feel how awkward that is. And yeah, when my gut tells me something, yeah, it's right.
And I've always been certain real bad things that have happened in my life. I've gotten forewarnings from dreams and things like that. And even the virus thing, I was getting a lot of deja vu the last few days. And it's like, oh man, I hope this is the extent of it and not the beginning of my deja vu. It's like,
and and the times I'm a huge advocate on the easiest way to, I would say, stay where you are if you're unhappy, or get back to an unhappy place if you're anywhere good, is the I'll get it tomorrow mindset. And the easiest way I can put that into context is, if you're running out of gas on the way home at night from whatever you were doing, doesn't really matter, and you see your gas light on, and you think to yourself, oh, I can get that now, but fuck it, I'll get it in the morning. Never get it in the morning. If it was important enough to go in your brain, it's important enough to execute. do it. Get it over with. Don't have the I'll get it tomorrow mindset because it'll ruin your life.
Yeah, and I've had those feelings where it just your stomach is instantly in a knot from a thought.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all the time.
Like, oh man, pay attention, what the heck's going on?
That's
I
why
actually did ghost hunting a lot, photography and hunting. And I know I've told the story of, at 11, 12 years old, I was raised in a haunted house, a well-known haunted house. And so, my precious years of being, things really being put into you, was in a haunted house. And then when I started doing it with my cousins, I'd come across something that would seem like it is a ghost or actually see something. And those suckers would all go running out of the room or back to their cars, and I'd be left in the cemetery by myself. And it's like, come on, guys. That's not even scary stuff yet. Just wait until the scary stuff happens.
Yeah, I don't have the jazz hand gene either. Like when I don't show drastic excitement, whether it be good or bad. If somebody worst case scenario, somebody dies, I'm not the one who, oh my god, what are we gonna do? I'm the dude who runs over and is like, fuck, check pulse, give fucking pop, start singing "Staying Alive" in your head.
There's a drum on this one.
A, B, C, D, huh?
Yeah, but then it's the same way. Like when I get gifts, I noticed by people's reaction of my reaction, it's never what they're looking for.
Well, now you know that. You got to just give them something. You just got to fake it out for a moment.
And the fucking part is now I try and it's still not good enough because I knowingly have been trying for like the past 10 years. And
You look at them and you say, "Oh, that's awesome," and they look at you and they say, "You don't like it."
Yep. Oh, is that not what you wanted? And they get this weird look on their face. I'm like, oh, damn it, try this time.
No.
Yeah, it is cool. I do love it.
No, you gotta go 55 DDO.
Right?
Okay. I think that one would help.
Yeah, because it happened recently too. Like I got a package from somebody and like you could tell right when I opened it, after I opened it, he was all, well, is it not where you were expecting? He's like, no, but I don't have jazz hand gene. I don't get excited either end of the spectrum.
55 DDO, is that like the Ferrari Testarossa of coins?
Of Wheaties, yeah.
Of Wheaties?
Yeah.
Oh shit, so much to
Like
learn.
I think $30,000 coin in bad condition. Isn't it? I think.
Oh, it's gotten much cheaper since then. I saw two of them on that heritage auction I was just telling you guys about from March that were in AU something grade, and surprisingly affordable for what I thought they would be going for. We're talking not even double digit thousands. We're under 10.
Oh my goodness, for AU.
Yeah. For an AU, I don't know what AUs they were, but I know there was an AU that was under 10. I hate to say it, but I think it was like $3,000 or something, like 5 maybe. I can't put an exact number, but I know there wasn't an extra digit in the thousands. I can say that with confidence.
Holy cow.
And I know because there was two of them that sold, and they were both roughly the same price range, and that's what made me go, "Oh wow!"
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I got a mute button close by. Usually I'm smart enough to hit it.
I'm in Colorado, and I take Colorado attitude adjustments, so I'll give you payback.
My brother, I'm in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm in Abbotsford, British Columbia, and I've got my vape pen in my hand, and that was a vape cough. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, it's not good.
We are so in.
A little more acceptable.
And back to your feeling on the thought that would just turn your stomach. That's the reason I no longer sleep every night. When I would try to force myself to sleep every night, it built so much anxiety to where I would say that it's what I think panic attacks and anxiety attacks feel like. I've never talked to somebody who truly has one to pinpoint if they are the same, but I can tell you it is not a very easy place to be in my head. But the second I started sleeping every other day, and not trying to force myself to sleep and then worrying about what time it was and how much rest I was getting, my body feels better. Like my brain feels like it fits in my body now. And I started doing that like 4 years ago. And I've consistently been able to do that without having like a crash all the time or getting all testy or red-eyed or needing pills of any kind. I don't take fucking Adderalls or anything. It's just my brain was not meant to be forced to sleep every day.
Got to do what feels right.
Seriously, and I'm so glad when I started testing it because it was bad. It was that feeling is horrible.
2 nights ago, I had no weed, and I went to sleep early like a good boy, figuring, I'll go to sleep early tonight. And I had that exact problem. I tossed and turned all night long. My sleep was horrible. Last night, I had a little bit of weed, and I stayed up till I was pretty tired. I hit the hay, and I slept right through like a log till morning. Bam.
That's actually the reason I do smoke as well, as I have had insomnia since 6, which is why me forcing myself to sleep was never going to work anyway. I tried for 20 years, and it was never going to happen.
It's not my thing.
But yeah, I smoke because it's how I sleep. Because pills don't help me fall asleep, but they help me stay asleep, which helps me lose my job.
I smoke because I enjoy it.
I love the way it tastes. It tastes really good.
Yeah, they-
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I moved on to different concentrates these days as an older guy. The other people who are in my house don't appreciate the smoke, so I don't like to go outside either. But the concentrates, they have a quick smell that goes away fast. That isn't a burning smell necessarily, and
It's not.
that's pretty.
Did you see what's on it there?
Oh, Rich saw something. Oh, Rich, I'll tell you what I discovered. When I first got my coin collection and thought to myself that I might even be liquidating the coins, I put up like 2 or 3 different videos that were encouraging people to let me know if they wanted to buy any of my coins. And you were the very first person from the coin community to reach out. I asked about video cards. If I wanted to see if I could get myself a video card for my computer. And now I don't care at all about
how
damn video
funny.
cards.
Yeah, I remember now because you had a bunch of $50.
Yeah, I put up some silver dollars, but yeah, and you reached out and we talked briefly, and you said, of course, you were in the community for a while and people knew you, and I was kind of new, so you wanted to cover your butt, which I totally get. But I was just thinking of different things I could trade for that I wanted that I didn't have, and as I look more and more at these coins, I'm just more and more enamored by them. They're just not going anywhere.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. Think of how proud your pops would be to see you wanting to finish filling those albums that he worked on so long.
It would be cool.
Yeah. And that's why I liked your comment in that one video saying that, you were pushing to do more music and get rid of the coin stuff, but now realize you're a coin collector. It's
It just
that's a
happened.
neat thing to hit.
Well, and on one side of the wall here there are guitars, but directly behind me are 3 rows of shelving with the prime things I like to look at. All my coins, not all my coins clearly, but so many of them laid out. So I even put up another shelf the other day. I went from 2 to 3.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
See, now I had a whole bunch of antique toys and stuff. Ooh, the nasty scratch on that one. But my silly cat, when I went to feed her in time, would knock off the antique. And she knew which ones were more valuable because they were always the ones she started with. Trying to get me, out of bed to go feed her. And it's like a little stinker, but she was smart.
Let's see if I can get it.
Just a wee bit of cameo. Some years they had it, and some years they didn't. Like 2005, they didn't know how to hit a cameo strike. I tell you what. But in '83, they had it down.
I was reading an old coin magazine that was talking about. In fact, no, this had to be something with the mint because they were talking about getting the higher luster on the gold coins of the time, and I think it was when I was reading up on the 1794 half dime. Oh, it was my auction book, and I was really intrigued by them saying about how easy it was for the mint to get these super high luster cameoed coins.
Ha! I find that hilarious.
1794 half dime. Oh,
I have one half dime now.
it's pretty cool. What you got?
Where is that out? It's
You
not.
only have one, and you don't know the date.
Yeah, I recently got it, and it's not in very good condition. I recently picked up my first Trime, which is an 1852, rather good condition, not even bent, and wooden details great. It would actually great. But
Oh, nice.
the only Trimes I have seen in auction in the past month have been 1852s, so I'm starting to think it's one of the most common dates. It's literally the only one I've seen in auction has been a 52 out of every single one I've looked at. It's almost like they only made them for a year, I swear it.
Look at the drum on this one.
Oh, that what drum?
Yeah. Even one of the bands is missing.
That's actually terrible. I didn't know that they looked that bad right out of the roll. I didn't know they looked that bad out of the mint at all. Like, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's like an 82 bad.
Yeah, and the thing to keep in mind, though, is they had already been minting these for a year. And
I was like, is that a 75 or is that a 76?
well, I think it's a 76 on a weak die because of, them doing them for 2 years.
Well, because
The rest looks great.
I think the Ike and even the Kennedy, they changed the lettering design on the reverse for the years, so you can actually tell which one is 75 and 76 for those two. I haven't done any looking into the quarter though. I should do that.
Well, I know I have 75 mint sets.
And I have a couple.
Because it's the only mint set that doesn't have the right date on the coins.
Yep, I have two of those proof sets for that reason, where the 75 proof set has 175 coin, or no, 275 coins and 276 coins.
Hey guys, I was talking to my boss. Yeah, he wants me to be coming back in a few minutes, so I'll have to get to work in a few minutes.
All right.
All right, I guess I'll go to do shopping or something.
Go buy stuff.
I went and got a light bulb yesterday. I found a metal halide bulb with 9,000 Kelvin for a regular screw-in lamp. I get it home and it doesn't work. It's defective. I'm pissed.
And 9,000, that's pretty high. That's going to be super bright.
I know. I'm gonna put it on a lamp far away from me, so it's above, so it has directly at me, but not like. And I just want to see it's a metal halide bulb. They're at Walmart. They're at Walmart for $25 right now. 100 watt, 9,000 Kelvin, screw into a normal lamp, light bulbs at Walmart.
Well, do yourself a favor and look and see if it lists a lifespan. Some of those don't have a real long lifespan.
Box said 6 year.
Oh, okay.
So I know it's not.
As long as you checked.
Yeah, it's not LED good because the LEDs are like a lifetime now almost. But It was a 6-year guarantee, so I got to go take it back because it was a $25 Walmart light bulb that I'm not getting gypped out of right now. No way, no how.
What's with the D on there in the rim?
Yeah, die break or a chip.
Yep. Does it go under the D at all?
No.
Goes over. Probably a chip.
Oh, have you been looking for any of the double the die obverses that are worth a substantial amount of money, like $800 to $1,000?
No, I wasn't. I was just looking for obvious.
The L in Liberty on the front, the tip of the L on the horizontal bar, will show noticeable little, like a little W, upside down W at that little pinch point.
Look on the bottom of the drum.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, that's either a sign of it was hit a bit too many, or I mean, the die had a little extra in it, so that it was doubled, or that's some sweet die chipping, like a BIE error.
Yeah, or just a simple die break because of having this other spot up here. It might have been causing a lot of issues.
Which is weird for it being a newer reverse strike. I mean, a newer reverse die at least.
But they struck a lot of these coins, if I remember correctly.
It looks like some clashing or weirdness below the L, like his eye level, but towards the rim.
And even a little chip.
Yeah.
Nothing
His
interesting one.
neckline's pretty good, though. That's rare. I like when the neckline's real nice.
Well, have a nice day at work there, Hector.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work about 3 or 4 hours today, from noon until I'll try to get done early, but I'll be on tonight.
You're going to be on again? Yeah, right on.
Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you guys, thanks for showing up, and I'm glad you guys are. Hey, young coin hunter, Stern.
What about you?
Hey, what happened to Darren? Darren's here too.
I'm right here.
Was he? Okay.
I'm here.
Like I said, I'm gonna be working between now and 3 hours, about 3 hours probably. But I'll be on the back tonight.
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay, guys, thanks for coming on, and I'll talk to you, Rich. Rich, I am gonna be going to do the gun thing also. The rifle. All right.
All right.
Hey, gentlemen.
Stay groovy, folks.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
See y'all later.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.